Hey y'all, my Florida adventure continues. Today I'm down in the Keys and it is absolutely beautiful out here. Wide open water because I'm offshore with my new friend, Chase Masters here.
Hey guys.
Who you won't believe this, folks. I met him at a daggone gas station. Craziest story, I'm coming out of the Everglades. I pull off, I gotta get gas. I gotta get some ice. And this fella comes in and is like, are you that guy from YouTube? Because apparently you wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and I'm randomly on your TV.
It's the funniest thing ever, man.
It's crazy. What are the odds, right? And so him and I, we get to talking out there, and he's a fishing guide down here in the Keys. And he's like, man, I got some availability. I'll gladly take you out. And I said, well, I'm not going to turn that down. Who's going to turn down a trip in the Keys with a professional guy? Because Lord knows y'all know I don't know what the hell I'm doing down here in the salt water. So we got a real life professional today. And he's brought us out here on this boat. And I'm going to show you this boat while he's getting things rigged up. He's been switching over some reel handles for me here, folks. Y'all know I'm old southpaw. I am backwards handed. But we got a real nice boat we're in. I don't even know what kind of boat this is.
It's a 32 Sea Fox.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
This is luxury at its finest, folks. We're coming out through here. I don't guess this is considered choppy for ocean weather, but it's a lot choppier than I would ever deal with at home.
Yeah, this isn't bad at all. This
thing's just cutting right through it, folks. I mean, it's smooth as can be, but he's brought us out here. And I'm gonna just defer to him today. I'm gonna bring you all with me, y'all on this guided fishing trip with me here this morning, and I'm gonna pick his brain, and y'all can learn and come with us and hell, jump through that screen reel in some fish today if you want to. But he just got us anchored down here, and he's got us in his aquarium here in this boat. I told him, I said, how awesome is it? You got literally an aquarium in your boat, but he's got shrimp in there. So it's pinfish in there. We got some frozen ballyhoo. He's threw off a chum bag over here on the side, and you say these fish, they're on the reefs, they come up to that chum bag and kind of get stirred up, get turned on. Yeah,
once they get fired up, man, it's a sight to see. We'll get them fired up before too long. We just got here, so some days it takes longer than others, but we'll get them fired up, and it'll be a sight to see. Definitely, like once we get them, they'll be eating out of the chum bag, and
that's awesome.
We may have to bounce a couple spots and just see what's going on, but we're looking for a little bit of dinner maybe, and we'll see where it goes.
Awesome. Again, folks, y'all, I'm gonna leave the camera rolling. We're going raw and uncut today. Y'all gonna see it all from right now. We're anchoring down until we roll out of here in 3 or 4 hours, however long we end up fishing today. And what's awesome about this, and I recognize this right away with Chase, is talking to him at the gas station. Because, you know me, I fish, I run into a lot of fishing guides back home and various places that I travel to. A lot of them very, I don't want to bash your whole industry here, Chase, but a lot of them very tight-lipped. They want to take you on a trip. They don't want to take a YouTuber at all. But just a random person, they want to take you out and they want you to just reel in fish and smile and enjoy the day. Don't ask questions because, you know, they don't want...
Questions get you in trouble.
Yeah, questions get you in trouble. They want you coming back and hiring them and not learning how to do stuff on your own. And Chase, he's sitting there answering question after question by me and offering to give me places to go down here, which again, me being a YouTuber, I mean, obviously out here, we're wide open water. I ain't gonna be able to burn nothing, but still just the fact that he's offering that's something you don't see in a lot of fishing guides. So I knew right away he was gonna be not only good for me, but hopefully good for you all out there in the audience as far as being able to teach us some stuff today. Because I'm gonna ask a bunch of stupid questions because I don't know a damn thing about what you're doing, Chase. This ain't my world.
So basically we're just rigging up right now. We're on the patch reefs, so it's the start of the winter down here, as you can see.
Yeah.
We're in short sleeves.
Well, it was 50-something degrees the last couple more. It's been cold.
It's been a little bit chilly, man. Chillier than what I like, but at the same time, you know, we just kind of deal with the conditions. And what happens is in the wintertime like this, we're out here on these patch reefs. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but you've got like a greenish color, like an aqua blue color, and then you've got structure just back behind it. So what happens in the wintertime, all these reef fish, they move from offshore, and there's like a shrimp migration. and they move inshore because they know that they don't have to work as hard for bait. So as you can see right now, there's not a whole lot going on, but my buddy did give me this spot, and we're gonna try for a couple muttons real quick and see if we can't get some dinner on the table, because mutton snapper, man, it is delicious. There's also groupers here. There's all kinds of, you know, limitless possibilities that you can catch on these patch reefs. Majority of the fish are gonna be your snappers. You'll get some porgies. Every once in a while you get a hogfish.
Okay.
Hogfish are delicious.
Okay.
So let me get right in this hatch real quick. I'm gonna cut these ballyhoos up.
I mean, this is fancy right here.
Pardon.
Is that granite?
Yeah.
It looks like it's granite. That's nicer than in my kitchen at home.
Pardon my mess, man. It's we've been doing a lot of trout fishing here lately. So basically what we're doing with these ballyhoo is we cut the heads off and we cut the tails off, and just basically we call it a plug. So you've heard the age-old saying, big bait, big fish. Well, sometimes that works.
Eat peanuts is what I've heard too.
Well, elephants eat peanuts as well. Let me get this real handles.
Peanut?
Say that again?
Have you ever seen an elephant eat a peanut?
Only in a Disney movie.
I've never seen it ever. I don't know where that saying even come from.
Yeah, I don't really know. I do know that whenever we tarpon fish, so we have a big migration of tarpon that come through, and basically they come in sometimes, some years it's February, and the tarpon migration will come through, and like you'll have 150, 200 pound fish eat a crab this big.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's where the saying kind of in the fishing world and the industry goes, elephants eat peanuts. So it's that tarpon fishing, that's some wild stuff. Obviously there's still a couple tarpon around this time of the year, but it's not as thick as, you know, like it would be in the spring. All right, so let's get you this ballyhoo plug on. And we got a 4/0 circle hook with a 1/4 ounce weight on there. Basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna throw, check this drag's all right. We're just gonna throw right out there to the edge of the patch and let it sink down. And that's your rod, buddy.
Okay.
I already switched over the reel handle and everything, so
I just let it sit there to jig?
Just let it sit there.
Okay.
If they're here, they'll let us know that they're here. And pretty much it should, muttons sometimes they're here quick, sometimes they're not. But they're here. That's what matters.
Okay.
So if you want, I can shut this.
Oh, you're fine.
And then I'm gonna throw.
Your sea legs are better than mine.
Well,
I'm bouncing around right now.
I'm out here in this stuff every day, all day, man. It's kind of. I actually went sail fishing yesterday.
Oh, did you do any good?
No, I think this front had a little bit to do with it. It was definitely a lot tougher than what it has been in the days leading up to right now. Because I mean, people are going out and they're catching 4 sailfish, and you know, they're catching 4 sailfish in 2 hours.
Wow.
You know, so
yeah, that's awesome.
I think what happened is this little cold front kind of pushed them up the road. So kind of how we describe fishing in the Keys or fishing in South Florida in general. Obviously there's one road in, one road out. Mm-hmm. So if you're heading west towards Key West, you're going down the road. If you're heading east towards Miami, you're going up the road. So what these fish do is a lot of the times whenever these cold fronts come in, they'll push up the road because the current is going up the road. So they're kind of like migrating in, and you know, that's how they work. I don't really know. I'm still kind of new to the sailfish world. But we're starting to get a little bit figured out. I know that they can be a pain in the butt sometimes, if you will.
I was fortunate a few years ago. I got to catch one on a kayak, and that was
Oh man, that's awesome.
my top catch of my favorite catch of all time.
So where was that?
It was up. We had put in up around Pompano and Boynton
Okay,
Beach area
yeah.
up on the mainland,
Oh yeah.
and we were trolling them goggle eyes or
Oh yeah.
or gogs, I think they're called.
Goggle eyes, gogs, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
So I'm
And,
gonna pitch this shrimp in here real quick, see what happens.
It was pretty awesome, man. Them things are incredible fight. The jumps.
It's one of the ultimate sport fish. So basically we, you know, like I said, I do minor offshore. Like with my charter business, I do strictly inshore.
Now, is this considered inshore, what we're doing today, kind of?
Technically, all right, so let me rephrase that. On my charter business, I strictly flats and backcountry fish.
Okay.
So this is inshore, as the book would call it, you know, or as all the other charter guides down here would call it. This would be inshore. So basically what I do is I go looking for bonefish, tarpon, permit, snook trout, redfish. We catch a lot of mangrove snappers, and that's just basically kind of, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we're going after. So it seems like that can be pretty lucrative as far as catching fish, depending on the time of the year and what we're trying to go after. I really wanted to go bone fishing today. There we go. We got a little bump ski. I really wanted to go bone fishing today, but it's not really.
There you go.
No, that may have been my shrimp flicking. The water's kind of cold for the bonefish right now, so it's more or less like I wanted to go do something that we could catch fish and have a lot of action.
Yeah.
So,
Well, all these fish, because I don't know any of these things, it's all an adventure to me.
oh yeah,
I mean, I don't know
And
one
we're-
species of fish. The other. All you Florida people down here, I'm calling you all out. What do you call you? Floridians? Floridans?
Floridians.
I call you a lot of things, but I won't say on camera. Especially driving down the interstate to get down here. God
Oh my
help
gosh.
you, driving 80 miles an hour and people blowing by you. It's dangerous. But you know, everybody down here hates sharks with a passion, it seems like. And I think they're the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, man, y'all just, every time people cussing out these sharks and whatnot, I'm like, these things are awesome. But every person I talk to from Florida or the fish down here, they absolutely hate them.
Well, kind of the issue is we do have a shark problem here. Whenever I take clients out, and especially, you know, little kids on the boat, they eat it up. Somebody that's never seen a shark or like been that close to a shark, I get it, because they pull, they got nasty teeth, like
Yeah.
it's another one of the ultimate game fish. The problem with it is a lot of the times we'll be out here fishing and not necessarily on the Atlantic side. So this is what we call, this is the ocean side. This is the Atlantic Ocean. So primarily where I fish is in Florida Bay and the Everglades. And it's getting to the point now to where like you'll be at a spot for, I don't know, 20 minutes. You'll catch 2 fish and then a giant lemon shark will sit underneath your boat. And it's, whenever I say giant lemon shark, I'm talking 8, 10, 12 feet long. And basically they'll just, you know, they'll sit under your boat and they'll eat all your fish that you're trying to catch. And it's not, basically for me, I don't really love that aspect of it. Just because, like, obviously I like to eat fish, But with that also being said, like, I have to take care of my fishery.
Yeah.
First and foremost, like, that's the name of the game. Like, I want to be able to do this in 20 years, 30 years, and if you're not taking care of your fishery, then, you know, what are you doing?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's same thing, basically same thing up by you.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we got the same problem. Pay lakes come down there and take all our big catfish out, and then it takes so long to replace them, you just end up with crappy fisheries.
I mean, realistically, I don't know, what are you calling a big catfish up there?
Well, I mean, anything 30, 40 pounds and up in my area is pretty big. But then pay lakes come down and they set their hoop nets and traps and they take them out, and it's, you know, it's not legal to do that. We've got regulations, but we don't have any enforcement of regulations. So they come in the middle of the night, set their traps, haul them up north to pay lakes, Kentucky, Ohio, and they put them in little ponds, and people pay $20, $30 to have their tournaments on Friday nights, and then them fish die in a few days because you can't put that many fish in a small pond and then survive. And they put a bunch of chemicals in there too to make them want to be more aggressive and stuff. But then you can really, like the Ohio River, man, it's really been wiped out of big catfish in certain areas because they've took so many, and it just takes so long to grow them that big, and so they keep coming further and further south to restock because, you know, they're just not surviving very long in their pay lakes. It's controversial in our world. I'm sure there's things like that in your saltwater world too, where you've got these two groups that are just mortal enemies with each other. Because the pay lake's big business, and there's a lot of people that love doing it. So as much as people like me gripe and complain about it, there's equal opposition on the other side.
Yeah, well, I mean, so it comes into kind of like, you know, here especially. So the inshore, or the flats guys don't get along with the offshore guys.
Really? Not
saying it's wrong, right, indifferent, whatever, but at the same time, we're all here trying to earn a living. And
what's their point of contention?
Their point of contention basically is they say, oh, well, you drive little boats, you're not a real captain.
Oh.
And I mean, it's kind of, hey man, I hold the same captain's license as you do. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, yeah, you may drive a 50-foot boat, but I can drive a 50-foot boat. We're on a 32-foot boat today.
Yeah.
And like my personal boat that I run charters out of is 17 foot. So it's just kind of one of those things. We don't really get a whole lot of respect out of those guys, and it's understandable. I can get it, but at the same time, those same guys, you take them out into our world, out in the flats and the shallows, they have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And you know, it's totally different worlds. And to me, it's kind of like, don't knock somebody because they're doing what they love.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You love catching catfish. I hate catfish. But with that also being said, saltwater catfish is different than the freshwater catfish.
Oh yeah, I've caught a few of them saltwater. I don't like them.
So I don't know a whole lot about the freshwater catfish. Do they have venom in their spines? Do they have spines?
No, it ain't like them saltwater cat. They're not going to put a hurting on you.
My God.
I mean, they'll hurt you if they stick you, but you're not going to be down and out from it.
Right. So I think we give this patch probably another 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll move on a little bit and try to find something else. This one's kind of bleak.
Did you tell your boss he was bringing a YouTuber out? He probably sent you out in the middle of nowhere.
No, I didn't tell him. No, actually, the guy, he was at my marina earlier. We're pretty good friends. He's another captain down here, and he's been catching the muttons pretty good on. I've got a little string of patches right here that he's been doing pretty well on the muttons. So it's not going on right now.
I bet your GPS card's worth a lot of money.
It's yeah. I mean, it's so the fellow that I was telling you about earlier, my mentor, Randy Tao. So he's been a fishing guide down here for 40 years, and he shared a lot of information with me, and just you got to think 40 years of fishing down here and being a charter captain down here.
He's seen it all.
It's unreal the amount of spots and like what he does. So basically, whenever we were sail fishing yesterday, basically we were trying to do it on fly, and he wanted to.
Like a fly rod?
Yeah, fly rod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think it's heavier than a 12 weight fly rod. I'm sure you got a couple trout guys that watch the channel.
Oh, I'm
and
sure, yeah.
they know all the different weights. So this would be like a 20 pound class rating. Let's go ahead and reel yours up real quick. I want to get it on the other side of that patch. Just make sure you still have bait on there. Like I said, we're only going to give this about another 5 minutes or so. But he's shared a few spots with me, and they've all, if you want to cast, you can. Just basically anywhere where you see dark, just throw it in there.
Well, I just threw the bait off. Amateur hour up in here. Amateur hour.
What are we doing here?
I'm trying to sabotage you is what I'm trying to do, by God.
Ain't nobody gonna want to come fishing with me now.
I've done ruined it for you, buddy.
It's all right, man. If
They've seen me do far worse, far dumber things than that, I promise you.
If that's the worst thing that happens today, we'll be all right. I promise you that. Ooh, that was a good one.
Are those just boat waves, or are those just random waves?
It's just random waves, man. It's
like they just come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, it's kind of. So we're going to take that ballyhoo. So basically, this is what we call a ballyhoo plug.
Okay.
Like I said, you cut the head off, you cut the tail off, and you're just hooking it in there. These are a little soft because they didn't have the greatest selection at Isla today. I'll take this from you. Basically,
just took away my casting privileges, folks.
I just threw one too. All right, we're gonna hook baits
even
different.
now, by gosh.
We're gonna hook
He's
baits
gonna show
different.
me, wasn't he?
That's hilarious. Oh,
he did that on purpose, folks. He's just trying to make me look good.
So basically, and what really stinks is I caught a whole bunch of ballyhoo yesterday, and I forgot them in my truck this morning. It's terrible. I don't know what I was thinking. I was in a rush, and I just totally forgot them in my truck this morning. So we're gonna hook this bait a little bit differently now. That way it has a little bit more to bite on.
Well, if at first you don't succeed.
Try again. So that should be about where it needs to be.
That's a winner that time. I can feel it.
Let's check that for a couple minutes, and like I said, we'll I'm not seeing the activity that I want to see right now, so we may be going mobile here in a little bit.
Well, I follow your lead.
All right.
I'm along for the ride, man.
I like it.
I'm up for anything.
So basically, what I was getting to before the ballyhoo fiasco, what seems to, or what, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, so we were sail fishing yesterday. So basically on trying to catch them on a fly rod, what you're doing is you're going out there in 110, 115 feet of water. And we had live ballyhoo that we rigged on a wire as a teaser. So you can get that ballyhoo or that sailfish, if there's some fish around, you can get him right behind the boat. And he'll come right there, you throw your fly at him, but he's gotta be going away. If he's not going away, you're just wasting your time. So basically you pull that ballyhoo out of the water, because that's what he gets all fired up on. And it turns into, hey, where did that bait just go? He's looking all around, you throw that fly in there like that, and boom, he's on it.
I'll be damned.
But we couldn't raise any fish yesterday, just because I honestly think with the amount of current that we had yesterday, I think they went up the road. So.
How far out do you have to run to hit those depths down here?
Say that again?
How far out miles-wise do you have to go to hit 110 feet deep down here in the Keys?
Oh man,
That's a few miles.
it ain't gonna be picking it up on camera, but you see those boats out there?
Yeah,
They're
they
in
do?
100.
Oh, wow.
They're in 100 feet of water right there.
That's a long way.
They're out there sail fishing right now. So basically, the reef line, or what we call the reef line, is right at 3 miles. Okay. Once you hit the 3 mile mark, then it just automatically starts dropping. I mean, we'll be in 1,000 feet of water. We'll go 20 miles out and be in 1,000 feet of water.
Dang.
So
It
it
drops off fast, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So it's wild how this Atlantic works. You know, I grew up in kind of central Florida, and my home waters are Tampa Bay. And to go out grouper fishing in Tampa Bay to get in 120 feet, you'd have to run 40 miles to get in 120 feet of water.
Dang.
You run 40 miles out here, you're in 3,000 feet of water. You know what I mean?
Halfway to Cuba.
Exactly. Exactly. Or the Bahamas, or wherever you want to go.
So I gotta ask, since you're out on the water so much, have you ever come across any like floating Cubans, you know, whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Or makeshift boats and all?
Yeah, I'll share a picture with you later on. So we see it, not in the last probably year, it's kind of tapered down quite a bit. They still come in, obviously. But I was on a flat down towards Marathon, and I found a boat and nobody was on it, and there was 4 paddles on it. And it was like, it's the craziest rig you ever seen. So, you know, like those diesel DEF, or like the big water jugs that they have, it's kind of like a square thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anywho, they had like 20 of those, or maybe it was 50, I don't know. They had a bunch of them lined around the outside of the boat to keep the boat floating, because they're all made out of wood.
Oh.
And it's the wildest thing you ever seen. Like, just the engineering in some of those boats is wild, man. It's unreal, you know, for what they do with what they have over there. It's, you know.
It's even more amazing they can put some contraption like that together and not get caught.
Exactly. That's, you know, because I've seen them with little diesel engines in them. It's
like
wild.
like homemade diesel engines?
No, so basically
up,
they take a diesel engine out of a car or truck, like the little Volkswagens, 4-cylinder diesel, and they'll put those things in the boat. They have a rudder and everything, and they storm over here.
I'll be doggone.
I was fishing with an offshore guy, and we seen a few of them. They just came zipping by. It was pretty cool, actually. But the problem with it is the inlet that they went into just happened to be the inlet where the Coast Guard lives.
Oh.
So I don't know how well they fared off on that one. I never heard anything of it, but I've noticed there has definitely been a decrease, at least in Islamorada, of immigrants coming in, you know.
Well, I mean, I guess when they get here, it's not like they can get far once they get on land.
It's all set up. It's all set up before they even get here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a human smuggling type thing.
Yep. It's pretty wild, man. You'll be driving down the road and see a van, like a Econo van, parked on the side of the road, and there'll be a guy in the bushes on the cell phone.
Oh.
And trying to figure out where they are. Or I don't know how all that works. You know, I don't know the logistics of it, but I've seen it.
Oh,
it's wild. But the thing is, you know, not to knock on my state or anything like that,
I knock onions all the time. Go
because
ahead.
I am a 4th generation Florida native.
I won't hold it against you. You finally got fish on there? My gosh.
I don't know
we
what
get the
this
skunk out.
is.
We got the skunk out here, folks. Wake up,
Something.
tune in. We got something going on here.
Nope, that ain't a fish.
That ain't a fish?
That's a rock. All right.
That's a live rock, though.
That is a live rock. This
So
is what
so-
you would get in your aquarium. But something was down there chewing on
Yeah,
it.
something got him.
So like I said, I'm gonna waste this shrimp, and then we're gonna go down the road a little bit and go see if we can find a little better current and some more yellowtails,
All right.
or some yellowtails in general.
We all just along for the ride here.
Oh yeah.
So what happens, let's say Coast Guard busts some illegal Cubans coming across. Like what, they get deported, I guess?
I believe they send them back, yeah.
They just take them on a boat down there, they fly them back?
I don't know, like I said, I don't know the logistics of it. I kind of try to stay out of it, out of sight, out of mind. I don't really want to know about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Probably safer.
Yeah, exactly.
Do y'all have like a hotline you call or something?
Not necessarily. You just call into the Coast Guard on your radio.
Oh, okay.
They're winning a little bit of something.
I wonder how many of them people every year just their boats fall apart or they drown or
You know, it's
get eaten by sharks or.
it's kind of a sad thing, is because I have seen, you know, the one that I was telling you about, or the couple that I was telling you about. They're winning a ballyhoo. The couple that I was telling you about, it's like all you see is an abandoned boat, and it's like if you see an abandoned boat 20 miles offshore, that's whenever it gets real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, we're all just people trying to live. Now they're trying to escape something that they don't want to live in anymore, and I totally understand that. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're all just people trying to live our lives, and like whenever you see that boat with nobody on it, and it's 20-foot boat or whatever it is, and it's like, man, what's going on here? Like, what happened? I hope they're okay, you know, because you don't want to see anybody go through.
Right, yeah.
You know, they're just trying to, about just went in right there.
Now that's going to make a video right there.
So it's, at the end of the day, like I said, man, it's just, you know, it makes it real, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild seeing that kind of stuff, and it's almost like an eerie feeling, an uneasy feeling, if you will, that just, you know, obviously it's bad or else they wouldn't be trying to leave.
Yeah.
But with that also being said, it's kind of, you know, like they've got, pardon my language, they got a set of kahunas on them for trying to come 90 miles from Cuba.
Yeah.
And if they make it, so Cuba is 90 miles from Key West. Where we're sitting right now, or where my marina is, we're at mile marker 90. So that's 180 miles that they're trying to make it to. And I mean, I can't see that they have any kind of you know, GPS, depth finder, anything on that, like that on the boat. Like half of them have like a sail on their boat in case the motor conks out. You know, it's pretty wild. And like I said, it opens your eyes to, you know, how good we have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like what we were talking about earlier. You know, there's a lot of people that tell me all the time, oh, well, you're living the dream and all this, that, and the other. Well, this is my dream. You know what I mean? So some people want to make $250,000 a year. Some people want to, you know, they're not happy if they don't have a Lamborghini in their driveway. Me, this is what makes me happy.
I'd probably be happy. I think we'd all be happier if we had a Lamborghini in our driveway.
Well,
I'd
rather
for sale sign in it. But
right, exactly. I don't know if I'm too big on the Lamborghini thing, but with that also being said, I think that, you know, I'd take a nice truck.
I bet when you were in 3rd grade in school, you probably had a folder that had a picture of a Lamborghini on it, didn't you?
No, sir.
You
No,
never
sir.
did?
No, sir.
A Ferrari?
No, sir.
Them things,
I've
when I
never-
was 2nd or 3rd grade, them folders were cool.
No, they were cool. I had one with Gravedigger on it.
Oh,
the
monster truck, yeah.
I've always been into big trucks. And,
Okay.
you know, that's kind of been my thing. So I tell you what, let's move on a little bit and go see if we can find some more life somewhere else,
Okay.
because this ain't happening right now.
Well, you done threw the bait off out there when we was trying to cast
Well,
earlier.
we just call that free chumming.
for a chumming, that's it.
So you can go right there in that eye if you want.
All right. Well, folks, come with us. We're going on a boat ride. One of these waves is gonna catch me. I'm gonna go overboard today. It's happening. We're going for a swim today.
Well, at least the water temperature ain't that cold.
Yeah, I tell you, man, we first got down here in Florida, because I come down up there, when I saw you, I was fishing on the mainland a little bit. I'm like, I've packed flip-flops. It is cold in the mornings. Like, I'm underdressed for this.
Did you ever, how were, I don't want to reveal anything, but how were the trips up north for you?
Good, good. Well, you know, I went down there to Everglades the day I saw you, and I didn't do any good down there.
Okay.
But I went up to Lake Ida, and after I saw you, and then I went there the next day and done really well. I got several peacock bass.
Nice.
I didn't end up using the lures that you give me because the wind was so bad.
Right.
I was going to have a hard time working a jig, but I was throwing a spoon.
Oh, they were eating on the spoon?
Eating a spoon, yeah. I was
Nice.
getting them up there just along the shoreline, just casting a spoon. I throw them little spoons back home to catch bait and stuff.
Right, right.
And so I thought, I catch a bunch of accidental bass just, you know, throwing them at home and whatnot. I was like, I bet a peacock bass would eat it.
Right, right.
Sure enough. So it was a good time. Yeah, it's one of them things in peacock bass, like if I had them back home, it'd probably be like a largemouth, smallmouth. Like, it'd be cool to catch.
Well, yeah,
But
it's
the
kind of,
novelty of it is the fact that they're here.
and that's, you know, the funny thing about it is we kind of touched on it earlier about the smallmouths. Smallmouths throw down, but then again, I don't get to catch them.
Right.
But then again, also, like, I've caught 10-pound largemouth because I live in Florida. We have the Florida strain bass. So, you know, it's kind of just beauty in it is the eye of the beholder, or whatever that saying is. You know, it's kind of cool. We're gonna pull on a big fish today, hopefully, and we're just gonna see kind of where we go. So what I'm gonna have you do.
You just tell me what to do to help you out here.
Okay. So
I'm a deckhand today.
basically, all I want you to do is take these levers, and you can just bump this one right here, just barely bumping into forward.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that anchor in, and I'm going to leave it on the deck.
So I got the easy job in this.
You got the real easy job.
All right.
But that's okay. This is what I do for a living. So I'll just give you kind of hand signals and kind of tell you which way I want you to go, all right?
Okay. You just tell me when to hit it.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna get him killed up there, folks.
Go a little right for me.
If I really gunned it right now, he'd go for a ride, wouldn't he? He'd kill me. I'd kill him.
Yeah, please don't gun it right now.
He's definitely give us the easy job here driving while he's pulling on that daggone anchor.
All right, it just broke. You can go ahead and go neutral. And if you just want to come up here and help me with this chain.
Okay.
So we're gonna take the chain and put it on this lounger right here.
Just set it any which way? Or?
Yeah, that's fine. Just something to where we're not gonna tear everything up. I wish this windlass anchor worked on this boat.
You wish what?
The windlass anchor. So there's an anchor on the front, but for whatever reason, it keeps eating up my rode. So fill that anchor. We talked about it earlier.
Oh yeah, that's light.
That's real light.
Yeah.
That's an aluminum anchor.
That's probably
So you can
10
go ahead and
pounds
set.
or less.
Yeah, it's nothing. All right. Let's get this kind of that'll work right there.
All right, folks, come with us. We're going on a boat ride. I'll tell you, it's a high-class operation here on this boat, man. The crazy thing is, there's some catfish boats now. It's damn near this size.
Oh my gosh, really?
My buddy's got a 24-foot Sea Ark. It's got couches on it. Now he goes catfishing.
Oh my god!
I give him so much hell about it. Like, if I need a 24-foot boat to catch a catfish, I ought to quit on life.
Right? All right. So we're just gonna idle to the next spot just because we got the anchor out. We got half a mile to go, a little bit over.
That water's just absolutely beautiful out here.
Like I said, dude, I'm glad you were able to come out on the ride with me.
Yeah, I'm glad you invited me.
It's hard to do this stuff on your own. Like I said, on my boat, little 17, it's a lot easier to get everything done, by yourself, because it's a lot
I bet
easier.
your boat would be a wet ride, though.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't come out on a day like this. I mean, I could, but we would have full rain gear on. Pick it up just a touch. So have you always lived in Tennessee?
Born and raised.
Nice.
Yep. It's been it's since COVID, we've had a lot of people moving south. New Yorkers.
Oh, it's the worst, ain't it?
Yeah. And so they've really started to take over, but it's still a pretty good state. We ain't got no state, well, like Florida, we don't have a state income tax.
Right.
And so that's nice. And it's pretty cheap to live there overall. Here's something I'll ask you, because I have wondered about this. You go into these shops down here in the Keys, grocery stores, restaurant, waitresses stuff, lower paying jobs, let's say, for the area. Where do those people live? Because it's $1 million houses on the water everywhere. I'm like, where do the people who work at the grocery stores live?
So the thing with the people at the grocery store, it's kind of like me,
Well, we know you're making millions here.
Well, we talked about.
Go ahead and flex, all right.
I ain't flexing. So we talked about, this is my dream. This is what I want to live. But that dream comes with a cost. So my rent is north of $1,500 a month for 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Now, with that also being said, like, it's my roommate, we're really close, so I'm renting basically half of the house. I use the kitchen, I do all that. It's not an issue whatsoever.
So you're not sharing a 1 bedroom, 1 bath with somebody?
No. This is a 3-2 that I share, and it works out for me. It ain't for everybody. And but with that also being said, I work 3 to 4 jobs just to be able to afford it. Now, whenever everybody's down here and they want to go fishing, then yeah, I'm making a lot of money. But the problem is we have 4 to 6 months of slow season down here. It's slow season right now. It's starting to pick up, but it's slow season right now. And it's basically, you got to take all that money that you make during busy season and you got to save it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's, teaching me some good life lessons. But with that also being said, there's some people that, like I said, somebody that wants to make $250,000 a year. I don't want that. I've never wanted that. I don't really care. Obviously you got to have money to live, but with that also being said, tomorrow's never promised. You know what I mean? It could be gone like that.
Yeah.
And it's, what do you do then?
Yeah.
Can't take it when you're gone.
Yeah.
So,
folks, we just got morbid again, and I didn't do it this time. People give me so much hell because I go on these I'd go on these death talks all the time, and I didn't. He just went down the road on his own, folks. You saw it.
That was not scripted.
I'm innocent on this.
I'm sorry. But I mean, it is the truth, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it's.
I think about that all the time. You know, it's like we all got an expiration date.
Do you want $1 million, or do you want to be happy?
I want both, by God.
Well,
I want it all.
yeah, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong with that. All right, let me get up here. I want to see where this patch is real quick. Eee. Are we right over that number? Can you see? It should say Chris Patch.
Yeah, kind of. We're right before it.
Right before it? All right. Oh, how waterproof are these microphones?
It'd probably be best if you didn't go overboard.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to try to. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the good news is we still have the audio for mine, assuming we both don't go. But if both of us go over, we're in trouble.
Well, let's not let that happen, hopefully.
If you do go over, make sure you make it back in, because I don't know how to get back where we come from.
It's laid out on the screen. It'll be fine.
Still, I had to watch you navigate through all them sticks in the water.
Oh, yeah.
That's an education in itself to be able to drive out here.
I'm telling you.
You know what's crazy, though? Back home, the fishing guides on the Tennessee River, they have to be a Coast Guard captain because it is considered a navigable river, so they got to go through that whole shebang, too, to be able to do it.
Well, and honestly, so down here, we have so much tourism, and I'm not knocking the tourism. That's how I make my money. But with that also being said, I'm not liking the looks of this. We're going to go over there. With that also being said, like, people come down here and they just let any Joe Schmo rent a boat, and I'll be up there pulling on a flat and there'll be some crazy boat just come through and just like, they don't have a care in the world. And I want everybody to have fun, but at the same time, you need to, not saying everybody needs to be a captain, because it's not for everybody. But with that also being said, like, I think they need it to be mandatory that you at least have a boater's license to be able to rent a boat, not just a driver's license. Because driving on the road's one thing, driving out here is totally different.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable driving a boat out here. I mean, there's too many areas you go from 6 foot of water to inches deep.
Exactly.
In no time. I bet that happens a lot, though, don't it? With these rented boats, they probably run up real shallow and knock a lower unit off.
See it all the time. So,
do part of you laugh on the inside about it? Because I totally would.
So just to be petty, for a second. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to incriminate myself like this, but
I'll bring out the best of people.
Oh my gosh, dude, we'll be sitting there, and somebody will be on a sandbar because they don't know where they're going. And we'll pull up just enough to where we can yell at them. Now, we're not cussing them out, yelling at them like that, but we'll get close enough to where they can hear us. And we'll just tell them, hey, you can't park there. And they'll be high and dry on the sandbar, and they cuss us out. It's, you know, like I said, it's you got to have some kind of sense of humor. This looks okay right here. Let's see what we got here. So like I said, these are all patches. You can look down and see where the sand is and see the rocks.
Yeah.
So obviously whenever I need to show you something, see how it's getting a little bit more rocky right here?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
Hopefully that'll show up on camera there with the glare, but I can definitely see the light patches versus the dark ones.
Yeah, we're gonna put out a chum bag here, and see. I just want to give it a couple minutes because this is a new area to me. These are kind of off of the numbers that my buddy gave me. And I just want to see what happens. Give it, 15, 20 minutes. And
yeah,
if that don't work, we got time.
Yeah.
We ain't got nothing to do today, but have fun. So one question that I have for you is how did you get into the YouTube world? Like how did it all come about? Like what made you say, you know what, I wanna film YouTube videos catching catfish?
Boy, I fell ass backwards into it.
Really?
So I got a camera as a birthday gift.
Okay.
And it is a birthday gift, so I felt obligated to use it. So I go out on the water, and I'm not even filming a video, like I'm not talking in the video, I'm just filming while I fish.
Okay.
And my SD card was full. I didn't have a working computer at the time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what am I going to do with this footage? I'd caught a few fish on video, whatever.
Right.
And I thought, I got this bright idea. I'm like, well, YouTube, that's kind of free storage. So I used my iPad at the time to stick them on there to free up space on my iPad and the SD card.
Right,
I never thought anybody would watch.
Right.
And some of those videos did really good, and people was asking the same questions like, what kind of kayak? How do you rig it up? How do you do this, that, and the other? And I thought, I'm tired of answering all these damn questions. I'm just going to make another video and answer all of them. And so I put that on there. And then I was like, well, who the hell am I to give anybody advice? I don't have any credibility. Nobody knows me.
All right.
So then I had to put out a few more just giving myself credibility. And the next thing you know, it just kind of took off and started to grow. And I kind of got into it. I'm like, well, I wonder how big this thing could get. And then COVID hits, which was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
Because I was working as a nurse at the time.
Okay, cool.
And working conditions were awful right when it first hit because nobody knew what we were dealing with.
Right.
Everybody in the hospital was stealing all the supplies. We didn't have, you heard about it on the news probably, oh, hospitals are out of gloves and masks and this, that, and the other. Well, it's because all the staff was taking them home.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody was panicking, So I ended up, when everybody got sent home on quarantine, whatever, YouTube channels and the outdoor genre kind of blew up.
Oh, yeah.
And mine kind of rode the wave with that. And so I was travel nursing. So when my last contract ended there, I was like, I'm going to take a few months off, see what happens with COVID, and I'll start treating YouTube like a job instead of just messing around. It's like a little hobby.
Right.
And that was April of 2020 when I last worked, and it's kind of worked out since then. And
that's awesome, man.
I started out with the regular edited videos, and then I kind of got into the live streams because that was the cool thing, and then the shorts kind of took off, and now I'm doing the unedited, and I'm like water, man. I just move whichever way the direction goes.
That's it, man. That's really cool, man.
But I'm the luckiest guy on the planet, really, because I totally fell ass backwards into it.
Right.
I was never set out making my video like I'm going to be a famous YouTuber. It didn't work out like that.
Right.
But here I am, just going into a gas station, minding my own business, and fishing guides that live 1,000 miles away from me recognize me because they've had a nightmare and woke up to my face in the middle of the night. And my face was so traumatic that you remembered it.
Oh, gosh. It's actually, like I said, it's funny. So like I was telling you, I don't know what you would call it, but it's almost like a photographic memory. Like I was telling you at the gas station, it's like, dude, I don't know where I know you from, but I've seen you before. And then I heard your voice and I was like, that's that guy. That's that guy.
Small world.
It's wild, ain't it? All right, let's give this a shot real quick. These look like some pretty good, looks like, so you can see here, see these coral heads and rocks down here?
Yeah.
This is the, as we like to call it in the industry, the juice.
The juice.
The juice. Hopefully they want to play. Did get a little bit close to it, but we'll see what happens.
And your chum, do you buy that, or is that?
Yeah.
So it just comes in like a box and you just put it in your net?
Yep. I'll show you in just a second.
Now, I guess that chum will probably break in a little bit of everything, don't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, it doesn't really bring in the sharks, but like the yellowtails seem to like it a lot. The mutton snappers, so we have these fish down here also. They're called Bermuda chubs. Look at that bottom machine.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how much you do of it on.
Well, I about went overboard. You saw it there.
So that right there, all this is fish.
Okay.
So let's see if we can get them.
You ain't got no excuses now. You done showed them
Oh,
on.
I know.
You done
I
showed
screwed
them on
up.
camera.
I done screwed up.
You should have been like, I don't see much on the screen. I don't know if we're going to get bit here or not. That's what you should have
Well,
done.
I get excited sometimes, you know. So yeah, we're gonna do the same thing, ballyhoo plug, and see if we can find a mutton, and then hopefully there's some yellowtails around.
I bet the bait dealers down here make a fortune supplying all these bait shots.
It's I really chose the wrong business. I should have been a bait guy.
I mean, it's got to be super competitive too.
It is. It's very competitive. All right, they're down there. I see them. You see them yet? Come on this side and look down in the water.
He's trying to get me over so I can go overboard.
So you'll just see
yeah.
a hint of yellow.
Yeah, I see that.
So let's get this ballyhoo plug out first.
Look at his aquarium here in the boat, folks. Is that not amazing or what? I was telling him before we turned on the camera driving up here, I was like, I bet the kids just eat that up.
They really do, man. It's, like I said, a lot of this, I do this, you know, I'm not a weirdo, so I don't want to say like
Well,
I do
that's
it.
debatable. You do pick up YouTubers at a gas station.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, I'm not a weirdo. Like, I don't do it for the kids like Michael Jackson, but you know, like seeing basically, you know, like I said, seeing a little kid catch their first fish, that to me is priceless, man. It's you know, I get to be a little part. Oh, there's a turtle out there. It ain't gonna pick it up, but you see it yet?
Nope.
He'll come back up in just a second. I get to be, you know, like we talked about it. You know, people work these stressful jobs and, you know, they come down here to relax. And I get to be the person that gets to take them out on the boat.
There's fish. Just like that,
Got him?
folks.
There we go.
Just like that. Your friend must have knew you was bringing out a YouTuber. He's like, I'm gonna send him out in the middle of nowhere on that other spot.
Oh, that's short yellowtail. So we're gonna burn through a bunch of bait right here if those things are acting the way that they're gonna act. Which is okay, I'm fine with that. So everything on that fish will hurt you, just so you know.
Well, that's good to know. Just I didn't really know how to handle these. I didn't know if I could lip it or not.
They have teeth. They're not like crazy teeth, but they do have teeth. And so a yellowtail has to be 12 inches total to keep. So let's get you another ballyhoo plug.
Look at you working efficiently there.
Oh, we got one on that rod. So most of the time, whenever you come out to these patches, like I said, it's mostly a wintertime thing. There's, ooh.
That's gonna pull a little bit, ain't it?
He got me in the structure. That may have been a little mutton.
Well,
So you can just flip that out wherever you want back there.
Let me try to flip it a little better this time.
Hey, we kept the bait on there.
I done it. I had a little bit of a complex after the last time, but I'm feeling better about it now.
All right, let's see if this sucker wants to come out now. There he goes. So that little fish, you wait till you see how small this fish is. That little fish right there just got me in the rocks.
I'll be damned.
So what it is, basically, there's like what we call these patch reefs out here. And they,
Oh, lost one. He done ripped me off.
did you get everything?
No, he got the bait.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, give me just a second. Let me throw this shrimp on there. So like I was telling you earlier, there's a big turtle straight behind the boat to the right.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, I see him now.
Good, good. So like I said, these fish, what they do is they're coming in here in the wintertime to get on these shrimp. Not really a spawn, but whenever we get real strong winds out of the north and out of the west, on like a full moon or a new moon, what'll happen is these shrimp, they can't hold on to the structure anymore. To whatever they're holding on to, the current gets too strong and it sucks them out.
Oh.
So it's actually a pretty neat like scenario how it works, because like if it's, I mean, it don't get real cold down here, but if it gets down in the 50s, and we get a real strong east wind or north wind or west, those shrimp will start running, and it's free seafood. Now, I know you don't really like eating fish, but do you like shrimp?
I like shrimp, yeah.
Okay. So basically, we'll go out and, I mean, the limit's 5, I believe it's 5 gallons.
There you go.
Ooh. Pulled off. God.
You know, a professional wouldn't have let that fish pull off.
Yeah, well, I'm a hack at best. We about to put that mutton rod up. I think I got one switched over for you. So basically, like, we'll just go out and kind of, you know, I will tell you one thing that has been kind of a curse for me moving down here. I love every second of it, don't get me wrong. But one kind of curse is I've become a seafood snob.
Oh.
So like, I won't eat fish unless I catch it.
So you ain't going to Long John Silver?
Nope, absolutely not. Not saying that that's wrong, but
it's wrong. If you go in there, you'll realize it's wrong.
But you get what I'm saying. It's kind of, you know, this is kind of like what I do, what I get paid to do. And, you know, if I had a mask on the boat, I'd take you down and go get you some lobsters, you know?
And that's what all them traps are, right? The lobster?
Yeah, lobster and stone crab.
I mean, them things are everywhere. Everywhere you go around here is them traps.
Oh yeah,
over.
It's like, so running at night's a nightmare. And we have found the nursery of small yellowtails. That does not hurt the fish, folks, just so you know.
I could feel my comment box about to blow up.
Oh yeah.
People gripe over the littlest things. I think they watch videos, not everybody obviously, but
right.
1 to 2% of people watch videos just to find something to, that gotcha moment.
Right. All right, we about to put you on so we can get you some yellowtail footage. They're small, but they're mighty. The big fish are coming later. That's why we got them pinfish in there. We're gonna go out there and try to get you a shark.
Nice.
Yep. We're gonna see what happens. All right, let me re-rig real quick. Which one's the wrong-handed one? This is the wrong-handed one. We call it the wrong-handed one.
Left brain or left hand, right brain.
That's it. All right.
That's pretty handy to keep your rods up out of the way up there, though.
Oh yeah.
You ever took any out going under a bridge?
No, I maybe way back when, but not anymore. I pay a lot of attention to that now. You know, I can't afford to. And that's another thing, you know. So I'm glad you spoke on that. Fishing tackle ain't cheap.
No.
So it's kind of like you always have to be mindful of everything that's going on. Like you coming up to a bridge, I got $3,000 outriggers on this boat. Are they going to clear that bridge? Do I need to lower them down? You know, there's a lot that goes into it.
All these bridges around here, different heights too.
Oh yeah.
Nothing standardized.
So that's what, exactly. So actually the bridge that we came over or under this morning, that is the Snake Creek Bridge. And the reason why that is a drawbridge is so people don't have to run 10, 15 miles south to get ocean access. Because Tavernier Creek Bridge, and I'm just rambling, kind of like,
that's what I do.
You know what I'm talking about.
I ramble and all the time. So
well,
yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is the Snake Creek Bridge, it has a drawbridge, so it has ocean access, and basically there's a big neighborhood right there. We didn't really see it because you met me at the marina, but it's called Venetian Shores. And
it sounds expensive.
No, it's anything to do with the keys ain't cheap, man.
That's the truth.
It's unfortunate, but you know what? Like I said, this is I wouldn't have it any other way, man. It's to me, it's worth not having a Ferrari or a Lambo. So
this boat right here probably costs as much as a Ferrari or a Lambo.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. And I'm gracious that, you know, are we sliding? Are we drifting back? We lost our yellowtails. Maybe a cuda came through or something. Let me get a hook out of here real quick, and then I'm gonna trade you. I got a mess going on right now.
Well, as long as you know where everything's at.
Oh yeah.
That's not really a mess.
So, basically, very thankful for my boss and what he's allowed me to do with this boat, and you know, the opportunity to get you out here.
Yeah. He's a good man. I don't care what you say off camera.
Hey, no. He's probably gonna watch this. All right.
Call me, boss.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, it's pretty neat, the experiences that, you know, I've gotten through this whole process, and just, you know,
well, same thing for me. You know, it's like without YouTube, you and I would have crossed paths in that gas station, and like two ships in a night would have never even acknowledged each other. And
that's it.
You know, you just never know the connections you're going to make.
I would have been like, oh, that guy's got a kayak in the back of his truck. Cool, I wonder where he's going.
Be like, I hate that guy. Here comes another damn kayaker down here.
No, I don't mind kayakers. I don't mind kayakers one bit. So, you remember the guy that I was telling you about that showed me these spots? Uh-huh. That's him right there.
Oh, okay.
So he's coming out here too to join in. He's going to
drive by. He's going to be pointing and laughing like, that dumbass is over there right where I told him to go.
Exactly. All right. So what we're going to do, this is 15 pound. This is a little bit lighter. I'm going to trade you.
Okay.
So that way you're not waiting on the mutton rod to go off. And then, oh, wrong hander. Yep. You didn't have any bait on there, homie.
Well, you know what? A professional would have noticed that sooner, so.
We don't claim to be professionals. Well, I don't anyway.
I play one on TV, literally.
There you go. I just do it for fun, and like I said, it's kind of for me. As long as there's smiles on people's faces, that's all that matters.
Thing's getting hit already, it seems like.
Oh yeah, circle hook, so you don't have to set it. Like I said, it's more than likely it's going to be smaller yellowtails.
I was reeling it out of one's mouth, another come up and snatched it. Oh, a little bit, ain't it? All these saltwater fish, just pound for pound, they all just fight a little harder. They all got something to prove, it seems like.
What you got there? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Don't get in that motor now, fish. Don't do it. Don't do it. I still ain't got to look at him.
I can't tell what it looks like. A small yellowjack. That is a small yellowjack. He's got
He's got friends with him too, yeah.
Let's see if I can get one of them. I know you don't eat fish.
You want me to leave him in the water, keep them others around?
Let me see if I can double up.
There's a school of them right there.
They probably won't eat this. But those right there, even though he's small, there's no size limit on it. And it's, I believe the regulations, you can pull him up now, they're gonna stick around. I believe the regulations on those things are, it's like 1 fish or 100 pounds.
Oh.
And these make excellent sashimi, excellent sushi, whatever. Grill them, bake them, fry them, ceviche, whatever. So like I said, that technically, yes, that is a smaller fish, but that's a great eating size fish right there.
Okay.
So we're gonna keep him. Let's get you another shrimp. See if we can't get into a little bit of a yellowjack beatdown.
Well, he was a good time. He fought hard.
Yeah, oh yeah, for what they are, man, they throw down. And basically, so, all right, let me just show you this. So you see that black spot right there?
Uh-huh.
That's his brain.
Probably
So whenever I hook these things, you basically go from underneath and then hook him. Make sure you don't hit the brain. You want to be in front of the brain. Because if you hit the brain, he's not going to sit down there and kick and flutter and all that.
That's good to know.
So basically that's, you know, if you ever fish live shrimp and you hook them like that, that's what you want.
And that's just a small 3/0, 4/0 size?
That's a 4/0 hook. For that, it's kind of a little bit of a bigger hook for what it is, for what we're trying to do. But with that also being said, you know, it works.
He got bit in half.
Try it and see it. See if it works out. It may not. We're gonna test that elephants eat
Elephant
peanuts.
peanut. I mean, I've heard that saying my whole life.
Right.
That's something's on.
Hey, there it is.
He didn't care that he'd been bit in half. He'll take somebody's scraps.
Got a little yellowtail.
Yellowtail.
So I'm probably gonna get roasted in your comment section about catching these little yellowtails, but to properly yellowtail fish, I like to be out in about 90.
There he is, fish.
Probably about 90 to 70 to 95 feet of water.
Really?
For the yellowtails, yeah, that's where I really like to catch them. So what we're trying to do, nobody's played yet, but the real reason we're here is to try to get a big mutton snapper or a grouper. And if they don't eat here, we'll go offshore, like I said, a couple miles, and I've got another spot that we don't have to anchor on. It's gonna be a little bit more rough, but it'll be all right. All right, there you go.
Well, the thing is, you know, and I don't know about your typical client that would come down here and book a trip, but like for me, I don't really know any of these fish.
Right.
You know, so it's all a new experience for me. Hell, just being out here on this boat's a new experience for me. And I'd say most people that come down here on vacation or whatever, it's probably similar thing, right?
Right.
There we go. It don't take them long, they're on it.
No, they're on it quick. That's for sure. I got this opened up right behind you. You're fine. Okay, so this is gonna be the last ballyhoo plug that we're gonna use here. May throw out a live pinfish here to see if anybody's home here in a second. Got another yellowjack?
It might be. If not, if it's a yellowtail, Must be a little bigger one.
Well, hey, that's fine too.
No, it's some kind of snapper, I think.
Oh, that's what we're here for. So that's a mutton snapper, and they are absolutely beautiful. It's kind of the same thing with the yellowtails, but I love those pinks on there. Obviously, he's a little bit short. They have to be 18 inches to keep, but we're looking for his great grandmammy.
Let's see if I can. He might be a thumbnail opportunity here potentially.
There you go.
Let me hold him out there, like so. It might be, yeah, it might be an opportunity for a thumbnail right there. Yeah. That sun, it wouldn't kill that sun to pop out when we need some light.
I'm telling you, man.
Mother Nature's never, never cooperative with me.
I'll tell you, that last video that I watched though, of yours, and that sun was coming up over them trees.
Oh yeah.
I forget, was that the or the crappie video? Or was that the different
I do
one?
a lot of morning
okay.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that was that's pretty, man. I've got a lot of family in Tennessee. So pretty much from the east part, central part, and west part. It's y'all have a really, really pretty state, man. I told my mom, you know, back whenever I was younger, that turtle's coming to check us out again.
I'll catch that damn turtle too. I won't think twice about it.
I told my mom back a little while ago,
I feel like there's a dramatic pause.
no, I'm sorry, my buddy that's back behind us, another charter captain, he just texted me, and I don't know what he's trying to get at.
He texted you mid-story. We were just getting to the good part.
So I told I'm the worst at this, dude. So I told my mom, I was like, basically, you know, being a 4th generation Florida native, I don't think I could live anywhere else other than maybe Tennessee or Louisiana. Have you been to Louisiana yet?
Yeah, I went there last month actually, and you know what my big takeaway from Louisiana was?
What's that?
It's the dollar store capital of the world. Great fishing, but I've never seen so many damn dollar stores in my whole life.
You've never been to Kathleen, Florida, obviously. There we go. You want to fight this one?
You go ahead.
Okay.
You don't get to catch many fish being a guide and all.
Right.
Enjoy yourself out here, by gosh.
Oh, did he? No, there he goes. Oh, Cuda just ate him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
awesome.
Oh,
You lost them both.
let's see if he comes back.
Oh, he's right there. He's right there after him.
I'm gonna try to get him up.
He's circling him.
Oh, come on.
Don't tease us. Eat it.
He faded off.
Dadgummit.
Ah,
Boy, he got him good though, didn't
that's what was a mutton snapper. Jeez. And you know what's bad? As soon as you throw it back there, he'll come up.
he? He'll get it then, won't he?
He'll eat it right away. Man.
That was awesome while he was after it though.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Man.
all part of it, unfortunately. But it's cool to see.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get you shrimp.
Yeah, again, you know, as a fishing guy looking to keep food for the table, a shark comes up and eats what you're reeling in. But for me, just watching the spectacle go down.
Oh, yeah.
Nature happening out here.
1000%.
National
man.
Geographic live and in person.
It's I don't take for granted what I do, man. It's a really, really cool experience every day because no 2 days are the same, you know.
Yeah, I'd say every day's a little, especially with the wind and current and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a puzzle you got to figure out every day.
That's it. Now, some days it'll, you know, I mean, honestly, it's no 2 days are the same. I'll just leave it at that.
I had one on me and he'd come off. Hope he didn't get the bait.
I think I might switch that out to a 2/0 hook.
I think he got the bait. I ain't getting hit again. I see a million of them right there. It probably ain't showing on camera, folks, but there's a million of them.
Oh yeah.
Literally right there.
Well, so what happens with that is the bigger ones hang out underneath them. And we're trying to get that bait.
You're just gonna throw that in the way, I guess. You didn't want that.
Hold on, I gotta get it out. I ain't gonna lose the mic. It's always something, man.
Always. Impressive recovery, though.
Thank you. Hopefully we can turn him into a mutton snapper. Come on, baby. So what were we talking about? I got the attention span of a gnat.
I lost track too. I know we was talking about Louisiana and dollar stores.
Oh yeah, well if you think Louisiana is the dollar store capital of the world, you've never been to Kathleen, Florida.
I don't think I have unless I've driven through it.
That's my hometown. Let's get you a 2/0.
And just so you know, folks, we've talked a little college football. He's a Florida State fan. So if you didn't like him before, you definitely ain't gonna like him now. We all Vols here on my channel, except for them damn Alabama fans that show up. But they ain't talking as much this year.
You got Alabama fans?
I got a lot of viewers in Alabama, and they've been boasting for years. But since they lost Saban, suddenly the tide has changed.
The tide? That's a good one,
that's
dude.
That's a little pun there. You get the little tide reference?
I love that.
The tide got rolled instead of roll tide, so.
So I'm actually, Tennessee and Florida State actually have, I'm gonna take that one from you.
All right.
Actually have a pretty rich history, and I'm kind of mad at Tennessee still, because there was a couple years ago where they probably should have beat South Carolina at the end of the season.
We should always beat South Carolina.
And that would have put us in a better bowl game. And I guess it's not y'all's fault for what we didn't do or what we didn't get, but that one still hurts a little bit.
Was it last year y'all was supposed to make the playoff? But then
Yeah, that was,
hosed,
yeah.
and
We
the
got,
whole team quit. And
yeah. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I honestly think, and you know, I've been a season ticket holder since 2010. You know, before we won our national championship. My mom moved up to Tallahassee for a couple years for work, and it's kind of one of those things that, you know, back whenever Philip Fulmer was the coach, it's like I said, him and Bobby had great history together.
Yeah.
Or against each other, you know. Let's see if this thing got 8.
We were happy to get rid of Fulmer, though. His time, he should have been fired 2 or 3 years before, really.
Look what them snappers did to that thing.
Well, they done messed him up, ain't they?
Oh, you got a fish on.
Yeah. Listen, I can multitask. I can look at some teeth marks in that pinfish and reel one in. I'm a talented man.
So the thing with a pinfish, and it actually goes for a lot of different baits, but if a snapper marks up a pinfish like this, they won't eat it.
Really?
They won't eat. Like, you can't use that bait for another cast. They won't eat it.
It's wild. Is it scented or something, I guess?
I don't know if it just stopped swimming right or like what the, ooh, another yellow jack.
There you go.
Nice. We're getting a little bit of dinner. There we go. And these things, man, like, so it's hard to see, but there's bars right here. And whenever these things get real, like, lit up and fired up, those bars, you can see them through the water, and they're like electric blue. It's some of the prettiest fish that we have. They're wild, man. All right, let's get you another shrimp. So I want you to burn through these shrimp before we go offshore.
Well, it probably won't take long the way these things are biting.
Right? I'm gonna keep that pinfish because I want to try to get me a mutton. Now, what do you think? If you're against it, let me know.
I'm up for anything.
What do you think about me calling my buddy right up there up the road from us and see what he's on?
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm along for the ride.
I gotcha.
And these people fishing with you today, like, we're all agreeable to anything.
I just don't know who wants to hear what.
I mean, well, nobody wants to hear about Florida State woes, I'll tell you that.
Well, no, that ain't gonna.
We've been wishing that bad stuff on you for years. It's finally paid off.
What's gonna happen whenever we move to the SEC, man?
You'll
don't say we're gonna lose.
Vanderbilt. You'll lose to Vanderbilt like everybody else. The good news is y'all are so bad. Season ticket prices has probably went way down for you.
Dude, it's actually really bad because what was it? The game that we had this past week against Charleston Southern, another Yellow Jack, sweet. Now you can kind of see how his back's lit up a little bit more. Or it was whenever you first pulled him out of the water. There was tickets online.
You want this one?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep about 5.
Oh, you got one pulling there.
There we go.
You got one pulling there, buddy. Let me put that back down so it won't fall in a hole.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna come on this side.
Oh, do I need to move that rod?
No, you good.
Yeah, buddy, you hooked
That's
up with
what
something
we're
good
looking
here.
for.
Another one of those muttons.
Mutton snapper. I don't think he's gonna be big enough, but we gonna check him.
They are a pretty fish.
They
A lot
are,
of
man.
colors on them.
They're beautiful. They gotta be 18 inches. This one's probably 15, maybe. Come on, stop.
The fish like that get eaten a little easier out there because of their colors. They kind of stand out.
No, actually, these colors, so if you're down, so red actually is the first. All right, he's 16 and a half. Pretty fish. He's 16 and a half. He's going back home. See you, buddy. Red and pink are actually the first colors that disappear underwater.
Oh, okay.
So that fish, he actually looks more brown than he does pink, and he blends in with all these rocks. Ooh, excuse me, all these rocks and stuff. Yeah,
I'll be damned.
it's pretty cool.
But you know, I'm going to use that in the future. You don't know this, but one of the things I used to do, the stupid YouTube thing, there used to be a time when comments mattered,
Right?
and engagement, and I figured out a good way I could boost my comments was I spray painted my sinkers red. I wouldn't say nothing on video about it, but I'd be holding up showing my rig, and I'd have a red sinker, and I'd get all these comments. Why are your sinkers red?
Why are you using red?
But now I can say, well, it disappears down
Yeah.
there to deeper depths.
It really does, though. That's.
I was trying to just be petty and get me some extra comments back in the day, but now I look like I'm really smart.
You know what I say, especially in this business? Fake it till you make it.
There you go.
All right, let's get you a shrimp. I think I'm gonna use one more pinfish here. I'm gonna make me a phone call here in just a second.
If it's a 1-900 number, you just let us listen in.
You want me on speakerphone?
Do that 1-900 numbers, do they still exist at all?
I don't know. I've never called one.
It might have went out of
he's
style
on
with
channel
Cleo.
11 on the radio. That's what it is.
We hooked up again, folks, just like that. Just like
Do
that.
I need to clear that rod back behind you?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Like I said, I think we're gonna keep about 5 of those. And then 5 of those yellow jacks, and then hopefully we can get a nice mutton or a grouper later on. That looks like a yellowtail. That is a yellowtail.
Yellowtail. He fought a little better though.
Oh yeah. There's my hat. I was looking for that hat all morning.
Is it a Kayak catfish hat?
No, but I'm gonna need me one of them now.
Well, you know, if I was a better person, I'd have brought some with me down here to Florida.
Well,
Nobody ever recognizes me down here. You're the first person ever. I'm anonymous here.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yo, yo.
Let's see if I can rig up one of these shrimp, folks. Let's see if I can do it. He's taught us how to do it. Let's see if I can. We gotta avoid that brain.
You got your ears on, Big Skipper?
He sounds like Dukes of Hazzard up there. Breaker one, I may be crazy, but I ain't dumb. Crazy cooter coming at you.
I think he's got a nice mutton on right now.
Did you ever watch Dukes of Hazzard as a
Oh
kid?
yeah.
How old
Oh
are you?
yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay, we're close in age.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm 42. So.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so we're comparable. You remember some Dukes of Hazzard and some A-Team then.
Oh yeah. A-Team not so much. But I definitely saw some of the A-Team.
You had at least heard of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some of these kids today, they don't know a damn thing.
About anything.
About anything. They don't, all them shows, I don't even know what they watch nowadays. Dora the Explorer, I guess. Whatever the hell that is. I was trying to see if I could figure out how to do this on my own.
Okay.
Since you've taught us here. I fully expect you to keep baiting my hooks all day though. I was just,
No, that's fine.
while you were indisposed, you know.
That's what I do for a living, man.
I've never hooked a live shrimp before, so.
How's the saying go? You gonna learn today?
See one, do one.
How you doing over there?
Ah, there's my guy.
I may have got in that brain then.
Let me go answer this radio call and I'll be right back.
We're all going to listen in anyway.
All right. Just
We're
got
eavesdropping
2 short muttons, had one get eaten by a cuda, a bunch of small yellowtails. There's some yellow jacks around, not giants, but enough, good enough for the dinner table anyway.
Roger that. Yeah, I got one decent one over there by Snake Creek rocks over there, but nothing here but little guys just so far. But
I think we got our bait strip. Oh, there he is.
10-4. Yeah,
I was going to reel it in and check our bait, and he had one on.
I'm probably gonna run out to like 150 here in a little bit and go drift for some muttons, or maybe a grouper. So I'll call you whenever I leave here and we'll see where we're at. Like I said, we're just
Every
picking away
daggone
at
cast,
smaller
folks.
yellowtails.
Every cast we got them on. Well, ain't it amazing though? I mean, we weren't that far away a little while ago.
It's, you know, it's just the little nuances of fishing spots is wild to me. Ooh, that felt like a good bite right there. He got it.
You got it? Oh yeah, yeah you do.
I think you may need to throw one of these live pinfish.
Yeah, he's gonna pull.
Oh yeah, another mutton.
Oh yeah.
Or is that a yellow jack? That's a
One
yellow
of them
jack.
yellow jacks.
See how his colors are now?
Yeah,
It's kind of lit up a little bit more.
yeah.
So how you doing on them shrimp, hooking them up?
Well, so far so good.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm. I think I may have got the brain on one of them. But
Oh, did you?
I think I did, but
Don't step back.
it still got a bite. So
Yeah, I mean this kind of fishing, man. This is, you know, this is pretty simple stuff.
I like simple.
Yeah.
Simple and effective.
Yeah, that is annoying. I'm just gonna turn that all the way down.
Y'all don't make fun of me for this now. Y'all comment box warrior shares. There we go.
Like a pro, dude.
I know, I'm daggone professional. Somebody's got to set the bar around here.
Right?
What kind of toys did you play with as a kid? Did you ever have G.I. Joes? Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I had G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles. Honestly, a lot of Army men.
Really?
Like the little green, yeah, the little green dogs, yeah. Yeah, I played a lot with those, cars. And then mainly though, we stayed outside a lot, man.
Well, you probably played with the Army men outside.
Oh yeah.
Do they still make Army men at
I
all?
don't know, I haven't really checked. That's actually a great question.
That'd be interesting. No, I had some of them too, but I was more into the G.I. Joes.
Right, right.
Nice.
They are pretty fish.
They are
though,
very
man.
pretty fish. Like something you'd see in an aquarium.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how you got off bait duty. I come over here for 1 minute
Well,
while...
you're standing in my quarter.
Well, I am. I just took over. Hell, I drove your boat earlier while you was getting the anchor too. I just took over this operation.
It's all good.
I feel like I'm getting my sea legs a little better.
Yeah, oh yeah. It takes a little bit of time.
Probably need them when we go offshore, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be pretty bumpy out there.
Oh,
Come off.
he come off on me.
All right, switch me sides.
Okay. The universe is aligned again, folks. Kick back like a little diva and have my hooks baited.
Now you know it. You'll know whenever it gets bad because I'll start asking, "Would you like a photo of your catch, sir?" That's whenever you know. Whenever we start asking that question, that's whenever we know what time it is. But you know, it's really cool. Just like I said, man, the different walks of life that you get on your boats, you know, from day to day, and just.
Yeah, I couldn't do you. I'm just not a people enough person.
Right.
I just, the first time you got that guy telling you what to do and how to do it, and I couldn't.
Well, so whenever that kind of stuff happens, obviously, you know, I've got to.
Watch your step. I got one on the loose.
Oh boy.
There you go, fish.
Obviously, whenever that happens, you know, you got to be nice about it, and it's just. I remember I had a lady on the boat one day, and she may or may not have had too much to drink, and basically. We're in an area that is very heavily populated with sharks, and I just had to tell her, like, hey, don't stick your hands in the feet in the water, like.
That's crazy that you had to even tell her that.
Exactly. Well, she didn't know, and I get it. You know, they're here on vacation. They don't want to be told what to do, and whoa.
He's gonna pull now.
Whoa! Oh, you got cutified.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think a cuda
He did
has
feel
it.
like he got a little bigger.
He's under the boat.
He definitely got bigger now. At least come up here and let us see you before you let it go.
Right.
Oh,
There he went.
There he went. We didn't even get to see him.
We lost everything. All right. So this lady, you know,
We getting behind the scenes fishing guide stories here. This is the good stuff.
I told her once, and she's like, okay, I'm sorry, all this, that, and the other. And then this was like a 6-hour trip, I believe. No, this is an 8-hour trip. So I told her once, and she just, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Okay, that's fine, I understand, but next time, like, just try not to let it happen again, you know? 30 minutes later, I turned around, she's got her whole dang leg off in the water. And I didn't yell at her, but I had to let her know, like, hey, ma'am, like, stop. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not just, you know,
special kind of stupid.
it's not just for me, you know, it's not that I'm not wanting her to not do that, but at the same time, like, that's a real thing. We're back there, we're 3 hours from help. You know, by the time you get into a marina, they got to send a helicopter, they got to fly you to Miami, like all that stuff. It's like, it's real world stuff. It's not dangerous, it's controlled, but if you're doing silly things, then, you know, that are unneeded. Hey man, if I'm telling you not to do something, it's for a reason. It's because I've already seen it, and I don't want this to happen.
You ever seen anybody get attacked by a shark?
Oh yeah.
Well, you talk like it's just a normal Tuesday.
Well, I mean, it's out there. I mean, I've seen it, like, not to where, like, they bite somebody's leg off or something like that, you know, not anything like really crazy. And it's never happened like on my boat. This has always been on a beach, like shark fishing, like little sharks, not big sharks. As far as like big sharks and people getting attacked, nah, I've never seen that. But there was a guy fishing in this area that I was telling you about, and the same area that me and that lady were in, and it was a bad deal, man. It drug him over the side of the boat.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So, like, it ain't nothing to mess with.
I mean, they're so strong. If they clamp down, like, you're at their mercy.
Oh yeah. It ain't no joke, man.
No. Now, you wouldn't have to. I wouldn't be dangling my leg in the water at all. You wouldn't have to tell me.
Well, and it's funny, like I said, it's just people kind of think, oh, it's all right, I'll get him in a second.
Well, hell, they're slippery little boogers.
They are. People think that, you know, now that they're paying you to do a service, that they don't have to listen, or, you know.
They work for you, or you work for them.
Yeah, exactly, which in a sense I do. But at the same time, like, my 2 objectives are to make sure that everybody's having a good time and make sure everybody stays safe. That's like my goal on a fishing trip. And obviously catch fish, but that goes without, you know, being said.
Well, making me look good on cameras should be your #1 goal today.
You just, yeah. Well, I think I'm doing an all right job.
Well, you was, but then I missed that fish.
Well, I can't help that.
Well, I blame you. It couldn't have been my fault.
It never is. It never is.
I mean, you baited that hook. It had to be on you. There we go. I think I got him this time.
All right.
I bet the insurance on these guys, especially down here in the, it's got to be insane.
It's unreal.
I mean, the insurance company's probably making a fortune on
Let
you.
me move this rod for you.
Oh, you're fine.
We're about to use it here in a minute before we leave here. That may be a keeper.
Okay.
And by no means am I like a fish monger by any means, or like, do I need to come out here and kill all the fish in the ocean? Not at all. But with that being said, my family, like I said, my family's coming in town. He's painting 12, we throwing him back. We like to have them about 14. So that way whenever they shrink in the cooler and you get stopped by the law dog.
Do you get stopped a lot out here?
It really just depends. So with it being Thanksgiving week, law's gonna be out here.
Holidays.
Yeah, holidays mostly, yeah.
I'll say the game wardens like home. They're like Bigfoot. You hear stories of their existence, but nobody's ever actually seen them.
That's what it's like in Louisiana, man. I think that's why I like it so much. Not that I'm an outlaw, but
Yeah.
you know, it's.
Well, nobody wants to be stopped by the law.
I just don't like being messed with, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything right, and I understand safety checks, but
Yeah, nobody wants to be pulled over by the law, whether it's on the water or in a car.
right.
And I tell you what, you go down that road there through the Keys, you better be on the speed limit because there's cops every
Oh
half
yeah.
mile.
Oh yeah.
It's one big speed trap, and I love how it goes 55, 45, back up, like it's constantly changing.
Right. You got to be on your toes, man.
It's another hard fighter.
I mean, like I said, for what they are, they throw down.
Yeah.
Another yellow jack. That'll probably be our last yellow jack. Yeah, we'll throw him in there and then that'll be our last one. These things get to 25 pounds, man.
I bet they're a handful within the
Oh yeah.
sizes.
We just don't have the right bait for them for the big ones. That and they like to hang out. They like to hang out offshore. Oh, so back to my story. So that lady, I had to ask nicely, but in a stern tone. Basically like, hey, man, you gotta stop doing that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out to be like 5 minutes after that, we catch like a, I don't know, it was like a 150, 200 pound bull shark. And it was like right there next to the boat and all this, that, and the other. And she's like, oh my God, oh my God. So that was 2 times that I'd asked her. 45 minutes after that, she had her leg in the water again. I said, reel them up, we're going home.
After you caught the shark?
Yep. I said, reel them up, we're going home. This trip's over.
Oh my gosh.
And not to be a stickler, but like I said, it's kind of like, how silly can we be right now?
Right, yeah.
That's another good fighter right there.
Yeah, he is.
Have you seen what it is yet?
No. No, I was watching them other fish right there behind the boat. I guess they over there in that chum.
Oh yeah.
I kept seeing them and it was distracting me. No, it's another good one, whatever it is. Another one of them.
Yellow jack.
Yellow jack.
They're getting bigger. We're gonna throw him back because I said we had a 5 fish limit.
So what'd that woman do when you took her back early?
She got offended. She was like, I can't believe this, that, and the other. You're the worst charter captain, all this, that, and the other. I'm leaving a bad review. And I said, just get off my boat. Just get off my boat.
You hear that, folks? By God, you better keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times or else. And he'll be the least of your problems. You get shark bit.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with, you know.
Just don't talk bad about Florida State.
That's it. Oh gosh.
Oh, he's going right for. Okay, there you go. I thought he was going to get in that motor over.
That looked like a yellowtail. That's a tiny one. I'm surprised I'm surprised that we haven't gotten into any bigger yellowtails. I'm gonna throw them shrimp out because I really want to go get a couple drifts in for these muttons. So we're gonna use one more shrimp and then probably maybe 1 or 2 more pinfish. Definitely 1 pinfish. But I want to see, I know there's bigger muttons around here, man. It's just, conditions are tough right now. Not to make excuses.
Oh, I mean, I make excuses all the time.
Day after a cold front, it's never good, man.
I tell you.
I mean, we've obviously caught fish. This is probably what, our 20th, 30th fish?
Probably. I mean, it's when as soon as you toss it out there, they're on it. Big difference from where we was at to begin with. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, you better believe when I was up there chasing peacock bass, like I was talking up the damn cold front the whole time.
Oh, look at his buddies falling.
Oh, he does. He's got friends.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, and what people don't realize, especially people that aren't like the outdoorsy type. There's nothing wrong with that, but with that also being said, it's conditions are everything. And you could have the right conditions for certain things and the wrong conditions for certain things. And a cold front, ooh, see his spots on there? God, they just fade, but just that, like, that blue. It gets a lot brighter than that, man, but they really are pretty fish.
Yeah.
And they taste even better. All right, let's get that big rod down real quick. We're gonna throw 2 pinfish and then we're gonna go offshore here and see what we can get into out there. Like I said, I really want to get you a shark. Hopefully we can get you a shark.
I mean, people just down here, they talk so bad about sharks. I'm like, man, I grew up watching Jaws.
Right.
Like, who didn't watch Jaws as a kid?
I mean, I get it.
I remember being in a swimming pool and a cloud go over and put a shadow in the water and you get scared as a little kid because like Jaws is going to get you.
I won't swim in a swimming pool at night for that reason. I will not get in the water at night.
Well, I wouldn't want to swim out here at all either, just knowing what's around.
Oh, I got to show you, man. I got to show you. Reel that in. Let's go a little bit further. So you want to be on that dark section back there.
Gotcha.
And that's hardy. So if you throw that one off, you've really done something. There we go. Perfect. So September, my best friend was down here and we were out in his bay boat and we were about 20, 25 miles offshore and we seen like a 18-foot great white.
Oh man.
And I'll show you the video, you know, later on, but dude, it was wild. Like just how wide that thing was from here to here width-wise.
Oh man.
It was unbelievable.
I'd have needed new underwear, right?
It was a really cool experience. Take a little bit of slack out of that line. It was a really cool experience, but like after I'd kind of seen him, I was like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. I don't want to be here. Because that thing bites the motor, then you're
done.
What if he rips the motor off that transom? Sinks your boat.
I mean, yeah, and you're that far out. What do you do?
Exactly. He's gonna eat you before help comes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little, some butthole puckering moments.
Right.
I've been down there around like the 7 Mile Bridge the last couple of years, and you hooked into one shark and you think, oh, this is cool, I'm getting towed, and then one bigger than that goes under you, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know. My fear ain't so much like me dangling my legs over in water. That ain't happening. I don't want to go in the water more than about ankle deep anywhere because I'm terrified of it. But I worry about me reeling in a fish and a shark coming after the fish and my kayak just gets in the way.
Right,
and ends up right in my lap.
Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be a major problem.
That's my big concern.
All right, has he not got hit yet?
Nope.
Go ahead and reel him in. And let's just kind of pick apart kind of these patches, like throw one over here. Just make sure your bait ain't marked up real bad. No, he looks good. So, see how his tail's red? It's because my bait shop ain't been feeding their pinfish like they need to.
Uh-oh, they've been eating themselves?
So
A little cannibalizing?
that one must have been sitting in the tank for a little while. You see that one there, how his tail's good? That's what you want. You want a bait that kicks strong and free.
Okay.
I mean, for this style of fishing, it's not real particular, but like I've had days to where like my buddies will be sitting right next to me and they'll get bit and I won't get bit because they have tails on their pinfish.
I'll be damned.
It's crazy. And it could be leader size, it could be, you know, I was marking the fish, but there was more fish 50 foot, you know, over that way or 100 foot over that way. You know, it's kind of just, it is what it is. But
I didn't even ask about the leader size. What size was you running on?
So right now we've got 30-pound leader on. On that light setup, we have 15-pound.
Okay.
So we do a lot of our snapper fishing. We'll fish 15-pound just because, like I was telling you earlier, they have really good eyesight. And if they see that leader, man, they don't want no part of it. So that's like, I believe that's a 16. That's a 16-ounce lead. So that's 1 pound of lead right there. That's what we're going to take offshore and drift with. So I'll show you the technique for that. It's kind of hands-on. We're going to be rocking and rolling. So the best thing is just kind of like get in a corner or sit on the side and basically just have your rod wherever you want it. And then just whenever I say let out some line, because I can drive and do it by myself because I don't have to worry about, you know, we'll be fine. I don't have to worry about necessarily driving the boat. It's really just going to be the speed at which we drift at. So I prefer less than 1 mile an hour. Some people like a little bit over that. I prefer like anywhere from 0.65 to 1.25, and that's like my max. That's like my happy zone. If it's anything less than that, your baits don't come through the zone fast enough. If it's anything more than that, then they go through too fast. So that's kind of my opinion on the whole thing. But like I said, there's some people that like drifting 2 mile an hour through that, and I don't like it.
So you just keep the motor on and idle, I guess, into the current, or?
No, just basically you keep the motors on, but you just drift. You let the current or the wind take you whichever way it's going to take you. Because once we get out there, there's going to be a lot more current than there is here. And basically, like I said, you just let it take you, and wherever it takes you, that's where you end up. So it's kind of like, you know how I was setting up the anchor here? How I wanted to set up as far as, all right, which way is our drift going to be? It's going to be the same thing out there, except for it's a little bit more detailed because I want to nail it. Once you nail the spot every time, then it's a little bit easier to catch fish. So,
It's amazing the current flow. I mean, especially you get around them bridges and stuff. Boy, it can really get.
It's wild, man.
How do you say, is it Bahia Honda or Bahia?
I call it Bahia.
Bahia.
But it's Bahia. It's really whatever you want to call it.
Well, I noticed the current down there is really strong under that.
So you fish marathon. What do you think about Vodka Cut?
I don't know if I've been there.
Vaca Cut. VACA Cut. It's right there by Captain Hook's before you get to 7 Mile. It's just a little tiny bridge.
I don't think I fished that. Fished.
There's good tarpon fishing there at nighttime.
Well, yeah, you just told 50,000 people. You told 50,000 people.
Well, I don't live there, so it'll be all right.
So I fished the 7 Mile bridge, part of it, right there by that little park, beach or whatever, Veterans Park or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that bridge right below there, I like it because I can just take light tackle and throw out right there and catch a variety of stuff.
Nice.
It's easy to put in right there at that little beach too, because you're right there on the water. I don't have to drag kayak very far.
Right. Let's reel him in real quick. We're gonna give him one more toss, and if nobody's home, then we're gonna head offshore.
Which direction you want me tossing?
So straight out, you see kind of where this sand meets that. It's kind of a far cast, but where that sand meets that area right there, that dark spot, those rocks, try to make it into those rocks.
I didn't even get close.
That was kind of close.
You mean really didn't?
Yeah, I would go a little bit further than that. But no, it's the right idea. That's where you want it to be. You just want it to be in there a little bit further. That'll work.
It'll drift in there.
Oh yeah. No,
Play the
that's
curve.
That's fine. Yeah.
See that, folks? That's talent. That's like a golfer when you got a slice. You just line up the other way, play the slice.
You know what's funny is whenever I used to play golf, I played baseball as well, and I had the worst golf swing you've ever seen. Because literally, if the hole was here, I would have to line up this way and play the dog leg in my swing. It was unreal. So it's kind of funny though. It's, you know, it was a lot of fun playing golf, but I wasn't anywhere as good as
Me either.
that golf.
I can rock it at Top Golf.
Right.
I mean, you can't mess that up.
Have you hit the back wall yet?
By gosh, I sure have.
Really?
Oh, I've bounced it back there.
Okay.
I ain't hit it in the air.
I got you.
Yeah, I've rolled them up there, by gosh.
I've never been to one of those things. I heard they're pretty neat though.
It's kind of like bowling in a sense,
Right.
except hitting with golf clubs.
I think you just had a bite.
Felt like something tapped it. I actually played putt-putt last night down there
did you?
in by Porky's, the barbecue place.
Yeah.
Their barbecue's actually pretty good.
Is it really?
You probably know all the good places to eat. You got the you got the hookup on that.
Yeah, man. It takes a while to figure it out, but it's and you know, it really just depends. But that's the thing too, is like sometimes I sacrifice like taste of food just to go to a local bar. You know what I mean? And just because whenever it is tourist season, you can't really go to the restaurants you want because everybody's there.
Yeah.
You got to wait 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know, we definitely pick and choose where we go. Look at all these ballyhoo behind the boat.
They're everywhere right there. I don't know if y'all can see them there, folks, but behind the boat right here by the chum, there's all kinds of fish. Right up in there. I was pretty excited though to see that y'all got a Wendy's now here in Islamorada.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Y'all moving up in the world.
Oh,
Got a
yeah.
fast food chain.
I'm telling you.
Big things happening here. I've tried to tell these people in the last couple of years I come down, like, you better get you some groceries before you come because you're gonna have sticker shock when you get to the grocery store here.
Exactly.
That little trading post, it's like walking back into the 1980s, I feel like, when you go into the Trading Post grocery store right there.
Right.
But they got the Key Lime Pie Lady brand pies and ice cream, and you gotta have that.
Yeah.
Is there a better key lime pie than Key Lime Pie Lady?
I don't really eat sweets.
You're too good
or
for
tart. No,
You're too healthy
it
for
hurts
that.
my stomach. I'm absolutely not healthy. But with that also being said, it hurts my stomach, and it's mainly chocolate, but like I could eat a Snickers bar that big.
So that ain't real chocolate.
Well,
there you go.
Well, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I need to start eating the good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and reel him in because this wind's about to start picking up.
I think I'm hung.
Are you?
No, I got something on there, by gosh.
Pull him out of there.
He's in something.
Is he?
I felt a head shake though. There he goes.
Oh, there he is. That may be your shark. Kind of giving nurse shark head shake vibes. Or a grouper.
Are nurse sharks really considered sharks? I mean, I know they got the name, but they're...
I mean, we call them... What is that?
I don't know. I didn't know if they were like actually a classification.
I believe so.
I don't know what this is. He's different than anything else that...
Well,
I've had
he
on
ain't
today.
pulled drag, so that's what makes me kind of think it's a nurse shark. Nurse sharks kind of just go with the flow.
Maybe I finally got that damn turtle.
You never know.
I catch a bunch of turtles carp fishing back home.
Oh,
I get
really?
them sliders and stuff, and so I see that sea turtle down there. I'm like, I'll fight that thing.
Right.
We're actually planning to go to that turtle hospital while we're down
That's
there.
actually pretty neat, man. You're gonna learn a lot.
It looks like a good time. We wanted to do it last year, never did, so.
Yeah, you got a little nurse shark.
Seen a glimpse of him.
My God, he's a little bit bigger than I thought he
he's-
was.
4 foot, 5 foot,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably
He's
4.
long.
Oh yeah.
There you go, folks, look at that. What do you do in this situation?
Just bring him on over here.
I can't boat lift this one.
No. Actually, hold on just a second.
It's amazing how poorly they fight for their size.
That's why whenever I saw those big kind of head shakes, I was like, it looks like a gummy. Put these
He's gonna
gloves
get down there and lip that thing, folks. He's got balls of steel.
We could pull him in the boat if you wanted to.
That don't matter, man.
I don't really want to mess with him that much. Come here, dude.
I'll try to lean over without falling over.
All right, there he went. Good deal.
All right.
Good deal. That hook will rust out in about a week. So
People
he'll be,
give me a lot of hell because when I've hooked sharks in the last couple of years, like I can't. What the hell am I going to do? I can't. I'm out there in open water in a kayak. I can't
yeah,
get
exactly.
close
You
enough.
can't.
I'm like, man, my pliers rust in about 2 days here.
Exactly.
It can't last long.
So if you want to just tie that to the top or the bottom eyelet there, I think we're gonna pull this anchor up. I'm gonna call my buddy real quick.
I like how you say we, like I'm up there lifting a finger to help.
Well, I think tides are gonna turn now. Yo, yo.
What up?
How you doing?
Keep your yellowtail and a lot of short mutton. We had one big mutton here a second ago, and we didn't get a hook on him.
10-4. Yeah, we're about to go out deep and go test it and see
That's
what
fun,
it's
y'all.
like out there.
Roger that. Good luck, dude.
All right, I'll call you later. Okay. So, I'm gonna fire these engines up. Set this one here. And then, what pound is that? Okay, that'll work. There.
We're getting ready to head off in rougher water, folks. Get your Dramamine, get your snacks, call your wife just in case. Get your emergency contact. Let me clean the screen off here. Y'all got something on your face there. Let me clean that off. There we go. Them fish getting them a free meal now.
Oh yeah. Always feed your fish and they'll take care of you.
People have accused me of feeding fish for years. They say I got divers down there hooking them up for me. I said, hell, I want to know what the divers do.
Well, we're going to give them another block because this one's kind of old.
How much them blocks cost there?
11 bucks.
Well, that ain't bad at all.
So that was $11 down the drain.
It seems to hold on there a pretty good while.
It does. It's not bad.
Are they froze?
Yeah. Yeah.
Once they thaw out, are they just completely apart? Or?
Yeah. So basically the way that it works is it just kind of trickles out a little bit. Little by little.
They just grind up fish and
Yep.
freeze it in a block, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll see it's kind of funny, man. You'll kind of, I don't know what the catfishing world's like, as far, because I've not done much of it. But actually, a bucket list trip of mine is to go noodling. I've always wanted to go noodling. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that kind of makes me nervous is a turtle or a snake.
Yeah, I'd be fearful of both.
So,
well, maybe one day you'll run into that Hannah girl at the Hannah.
Oh,
Barron
Hannah
girl.
Barron, yeah, she's.
You'd definitely recognize her if she walked into the gas
I
station.
would 1,000% recognize her. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing here.
Okay.
Just the port engine and gear.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna pull it up, and then whenever we get to where we're just kind of drifting and we're ready to go offshore, we're going to. I'm going to store that anchor.
Okay.
So whenever we store the chain this time, we're going to put it up on the front seat, so that way it's not sitting on the lounger.
You just tell me when.
I got you. All right, go ahead.
Driving the boat.
Give me some left. Hard left. All right, straighten it back out.
I'm a pro with this. I'm like a real life deckhand here. A first mate.
Neutral. Go forward just a touch. Give me some left. All right, neutral. Woo, buddy. If you could just open that that hatch for me. Perfect. Hey, get in there.
It's gonna be a fun ride out there. Seems like it's gotten a little choppier since we've been out here.
Yeah, it's picked up a little bit. That's why I was kind of struggling on what I wanted. Oh man, God dang it. Just ripped a hole in my net.
Uh-oh.
It'll be all right. Yeah. So, let's see where we're at.
I'll try to turn this way while you get your GPS.
Oh,
stuff.
dude, it doesn't show anything. It's all good.
See, folks, I told you, man, he ain't like a normal fishing guide that's all secretive and stuff. He'll explain what he's doing, teach you.
7.85 miles.
So we're on a roller coaster, a 7-mile long roller coaster is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Y'all find something to grab onto. We're going for a boat ride here.
Yeah, it may get a little rough, but it'll be all right. We got a big enough boat to handle it. Before we get to going, I just want to do one more check, and then I might have to take a little potty break on the side of the boat once we get out of sight.
Oh, I'm definitely filming that. It goes on the OnlyFans channel. There's some real perverts out there,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah.
They'll eat that up. You'd be amazed how many comments I get on my feet. Like having flip-flops.
serious?
Oh yeah, the perverts, man.
Maybe
I
you should
probably
show
got-
mine, dude. We can
Well-
start a business. I got some nasty looking toes.
I was gonna
right
say,
now.
them things looking rough. You ever been one of them Asian spas to get a pedicure?
One time. And I hate it. I loved it
Really?
whenever I walked out of there.
Yeah.
But I hated every second of it because I hate people touching my feet. I
Well-
don't like people touching my feet.
I didn't used to like it either, but now I ain't cut my toenails in months. The girlfriend's got me going all the time, and she loves it. It's like a spa day for her.
Exactly.
You know, she brags to her
Exactly.
girlfriends how I go with her.
That's hilarious. All right, if you want to just keep us straight for a second, we're just going to see this purple track right here.
Uh-huh.
We're just going to kind of go on that purple track.
Okay. That's another one of those situations. We got him with his pants down, folks. We could really have some fun with this, but I want to make it back to the dock in one piece today, so.
That's pretty funny.
If I really gunned it right now,
Oh, I'd be done, dude. I would be done, toast.
beautiful world out here though, folks. So different than back home.
You want water or anything?
No, I'm good right
Okay.
now. Thank you though.
Yeah. So I'll bet you every penny in my bank account, which ain't much, it's about $3.17.
That adds up though.
It does.
I found a penny in the parking lot the other day.
That's what I'm talking about. I bet you every penny in my bank account right now that you did not expect to be driving a boat in the Florida Keys whenever
Did not.
you were down here.
No, that never crossed my mind that was going to happen. Yeah, I never imagined meeting a fishing guide at a random gas station outside the Florida Keys.
I'm telling you.
I have people back home occasionally will bump into me like, oh yeah, I watch your videos, but down here in Florida, like nobody watches catfish videos.
Not really. Like I said, it's wild the way that kind of everything worked out, and you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. I mean, I swear I'm not a weirdo for the most part, but
No comment.
it's kind of weird that like I can see a face and just be like, yeah, I know that face from somewhere. So, all right, you ready?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna get.
All right.
Well, hang on for dear life here.
Yeah.
We're white knuckling it, folks.
Yeah.
I bet sometimes it's like a roller coaster going over the waves when they're real big, ain't it?
Oh yeah. Well, you're gonna find that out in about. So this is the reef line here. See where it goes from 15 to 52 to 100 and whatever feet, all the way out to 1,000 feet out there. So it drops off pretty quick.
So when we get out there in the deeper water, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it. It'll be rough, but you know what?
You only live once, my
That's
God.
it, man. What do the kids say, YOLO? If they even say that anymore.
Do you have problems like over the course of time with like your screws coming loose and stuff from the beating?
If we run it in really, really rough stuff all the time, yeah, every once in a while. And it's not necessarily like a boat manufacturing thing. It's just, you know, there's so much vibration that goes on in these bigger boats that, yeah, I mean, you'll have some, I got a whole drawer dedicated just for nuts and bolts that I found, you know. It's like, where the heck does this thing go? But I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of, you know, it ain't terrible. But then again, too, like, whenever it's real rough, like it's starting to get, I try not to run it that hard. If you take care of your stuff, it'll take care of you. I mean, stuff breaks, but at the same time, there's no sense in trying to go 50 in this stuff. You know, whenever it's a little bit, now we could go 50 in this, but it'd rattle your teeth out.
You ever broke down while you've been out a long ways away?
Yes, I have.
What's that like?
It's not fun. It's, I was back in the Everglades one day, and the batteries died. And, I mean, you're 30 miles back there, and you'll see one boat every 2 hours. And it's like, it's a surreal feeling, because it's like, man, there's crocodiles back here. Like, I'm not trying to be back here with all these fish.
I mean, you probably don't have cell phone reception back there, do you?
It's very minimal, yeah. So the only cell phone service that works out there is AT&T.
Shout out AT&T,
Yeah,
you got a free plug right there.
Sponsor me. But it's and it's even spotty back there, which, you know, I'm all good with keeping Florida wild and everything like that, but at the same time, you know, it can almost become dangerous out there.
Yeah. What would be more dangerous? Getting stranded back there or out here way offshore?
I mean, it's kind of 6 to 1, half dozen the other. The problem with out front is like what we like to call it. You've got the Gulf Stream, and if you break down in the Gulf Stream current, you're just going to get blown north until, like, I mean, that thing. Sorry. That thing runs all the way up the East Coast. So depending, I mean, somebody's gonna find you, obviously, but back there, I mean, there's enough people that fish back there in certain spots, you know, but if you get back there and you're like high and dry, like totally stranded, like say you run aground, there may not be a boat come by there at all. So, yeah, look at the color of this water, dude.
That's beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
Look at that, folks. Crystal blue.
Man, that never gets old.
No.
I do this every day. This never gets old. I don't do the offshore stuff every day, but there's actually a really good shot that, like, while we're out here, we may see a sailfish.
That'd be pretty cool just to see one.
Yeah. It's 1.5 foot and 28 feet of water. We ain't even made it to the deep stuff yet.
How long did it take you, like running out here in this, to kind of get comfortable with it in the boat?
As far as like not thinking I was gonna hit anything, or
Just, you know, not thinking you're gonna die going because I'm sure there's been days where you go out and it's flat calm, and then the wind kicks up out of nowhere. You get caught out in the storm.
Right. Yeah, I mean, those days are always kind of sketchy. You know, you never like the days that you run out and then a storm pops up and like you turn on the radar and there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And it's coming. Like all you can do is run further offshore. You got a quarter tank of gas and you're not going to make it all the way in. You know what I mean? Those days are kind of nerve-wracking, but at the same time, like I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I've never really thought about that. As far as like,
So you're like them race car drivers. You just got to get in and drive and not think about the consequences.
that's it, man. If something happens, you address it whenever it happens. I remember I was fishing on a bay boat and stuff that was worse than this. And we were out there. We took 3 waves over the bow. I was standing in calf deep water, and I'm 6 foot 6'1". I'm in calf deep water in this boat, and I didn't really lose my cool, but the guy kept wanting to fish, and I told him, I was like, buddy, no, we're getting out of here. And I should have never put him in that situation, but that was, you know, really young into my guiding career, and now it's, you know, that was whenever it was, you know, the customer's always right.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey man, I don't really want to go do this, but if you're going to leave me a bad review, I want to make sure you're happy, you know? And like nowadays, here's more patches.
Oh yeah.
So I had an ADHD moment.
Squirrel.
So yeah, exactly. So nowadays it's more along the lines of, you know, hey, let's keep everybody safe. Like if there's something, I don't have a problem with if the winds are up too high. Like, hey guys, sorry we couldn't make it out today, but like this is the safest decision that we can make. Like I said, man, at the end of the day, everybody wants to come home.
Yeah.
You don't want to be scared. So.
How long you been guiding now?
So full time I've been guiding for 2.5 years.
Okay.
So I used to be a part-time guide in Tampa, just on the weekends and stuff, because I used to work for a power company for 15 years. And, you know, I kind of had a life-changing event that happened to me, and not that that's the only reason, but I got to thinking a lot, and it's like, you know, I'm not getting any younger. I've always wanted to move down to the Keys. Like, why not? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's the same, kind of the same thing along the lines with like your, you know, quitting nursing and doing full-time YouTube.
Yeah, probably a little more nerve-wracking in your situation because you had to pack up and move.
Right.
I could go back to nursing anytime. I've kept my license active, but
Oh, okay.
you still got the public side. Once I announced I was full-time, it's like, okay, now there's going to be a bunch of people waiting on me to fail.
Right.
And I don't want to give them the satisfaction if
Right.
things go wrong.
Exactly.
It's the ego.
Exactly. And it's funny you say that about an ego, because fishermen and baseball players have the biggest egos out of anybody.
I agree with that 100%.
But you almost kind of have to have a little bit of an ego. There's a difference between being confident and cocky.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, she rocking and rolling, baby. It ain't bad. She white capping a little bit. Like I said, I just want to get over these numbers and kind of just see what the drip's going to be for a minute.
So them boats out there probably sailfish fishing?
Yeah, more than likely. He could have been yellowtailing. I mean, we're basically on the edge of the reef right there where he's at. You see where it goes from like, I don't know what, cobalt blue to like dark blue?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know the blue spectrums, but he could have been yellowtailing. But this is kind of where those, like right on this edge right here, this is kind of where those sailfish like to hang out. Right on the edge of the reef, a little bit past it. All right, got a mile and a half.
We're in the home stretch. You ever been out here and your navigation system went out?
Yeah.
Oh, now I bet that really gets scary.
Well, here it's not bad because I got landmarks to look at.
So if you're 10 miles offshore and you
10,
can't see
12
land.
miles offshore, you can't see land. That's whenever it's kind of, you know, it gets dicey a little bit, but then again, that's why we have a compass on the boat. So we're heading pretty much due southwest. I know that I would need to go northeast at a certain number. So I'm at 210. So you reverse the 210 and that's basically like the heading that you want to go.
Is that part of your captain school training and all that?
Yep. Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah, that captain's course, they can be kind of confusing. Because there's like a true north, there's a magnetic north, like, you gotta know, like, the lights on a submarine, how they would be configured. And it's kind of funny, it's like, why do I need to know lights on a submarine? They stay under the water.
That is a good point.
You know?
You ever seen a submarine come up?
I've never seen one come up, but I know a couple months ago there was actually a Russian submarine, like, so we're at probably 5 miles right now. I think it's like 5.5 to get out to where we're at right now from my marina. There was a Russian submarine that was only like 14 miles offshore.
Wow.
Pretty scary stuff whenever you get to thinking about it. You know?
Yeah. You ever seen any like UFOs? Because they say them come in out of the water now. Them Tic Tac looking things. Do you believe in UFOs?
You know,
We're going down the rabbit hole deep now.
dude, yeah, that's a tough one, man. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I don't know how much I believe it, but I'm definitely not saying that it's not possible. Do you believe in them?
I mean, I hope to God we're not the most advanced creatures in the universe.
Well, you're not wrong on
There's
that.
got to be something smarter than us out there.
Not disagreeing. Not disagreeing whatsoever.
I think part of me wants it to be true,
Right.
unless they come here to invade us.
Right. Yeah, that would not be cool.
One would think if they were a threat by now, they would have already taken over.
Oh, I believe so. I think the biggest threat, honestly, the biggest threat is technology.
Oh, for sure. The damn Terminator. Who would have thought in the 1980s when the Terminator come out that was going to be real life?
Oh, you son of a gun.
Go ahead and say it. You want to.
No. All right, so you see that right there, all them squigglies?
Uh-huh.
This is where we're gonna fish right here.
And that boat just cut you off up there?
Yeah, they're kind of where I want to be, but we've got fish on the bottom right here, so.
155 feet deep?
Yep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them in neutral. Close. And I'm gonna make a waypoint. Boom. You got you a waypoint.
I'm officially named, folks.
So we named you a waypoint, and basically the reasoning I did that is we're in neutral. We're drifting it a little bit faster than I wanted to drift. It's between like 1.4 and 1.6, a little faster than I wanted to go. Yeah, we're slowing down now. So let's let the boat settle completely down, and then, like I said, we'll go back and mark all this stuff. We'll look, and that way we know where we want to set up and let our baits out.
Okay.
Kind of scientific a little bit, I guess.
Well, I mean, it is interesting to me to see how you go about setting up on a place, because I mean, when it's wide open out here, it's kind of, if you don't have your electronics to know that you're right on the edge, then you really don't, you're kind of in the blind.
All right, let's get some rods rigged up real quick. Ooh, I want to do one thing. What is that? There we go. So all this right here, that's all fish.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of fish, but they're fish that we want to look for.
Okay.
And then,
well, no excuses now. You done told everybody there's fish here.
well, I can take you to where they're at. I can't make them eat.
Professional could, by
Hey,
gosh.
there's always a way out of everything. Let's go ahead and get your rod rigged real quick.
Yeah, folks, this is awesome. You just look around and you can barely see land way over there in the distance, but otherwise it's just wide open water out here. Well, that following the contour, that's exactly what I do back home, working ledges for the catfish.
Really?
I get on the edge, and that's where they kind of hang out, it seems like.
So have you noticed that, like I said, I'm very, very novice at catfishing. I don't know a whole lot about it. Have you noticed at all that they like a certain amount of current?
Oh, for sure. It seems like if you got current, you do way better than you do if you got slack water.
Okay. So we're gonna use 2/16 today. Stop that. We got barrel swivel, or snap swivel, sorry. Barrel. And a lot of this stuff, like I said, I've got my mentor that kind of helps me with this, but a lot of this stuff is just coming out here and learning it, you know?
Yeah, experiment.
I've got a lot of friends that they like to fish their certain ways, and I'm kind of not really set in my ways. I like to experiment with things, but at the same time,
Well, once you get past 40, you'll get set in your ways. That's when it happens.
Right, right.
I start being the old man yelling at clouds and stuff.
Get off my lawn. So I will tell you, there is, and I'm a very firm believer in this, there's always more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
So basically what we do here is we're gonna take this bead. The reason I put this bead on there is so you don't reel the swivel through the rod tip.
Okay.
I don't do it just for people that don't know what they're doing. Not saying that you don't know what you're doing, but
Oh, I'd ram that thing right through
this
there.
is a little bit different world. So we take that bead like that, and then it runs straight to there.
I'm gonna have to get my sea legs again out here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be bouncing around all over.
As long as you don't get sick, we'll be all right.
No, I ain't feeling sick. I will admit I took a Dramamine just in case.
Okay, no, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
I wussed out, buddy. I wussed out just in case. I got seasick one time on the boat. I wasn't puking, but I felt like I wanted to.
It's the worst feeling in the world. And the only way to get rid of it is to get in the water or actually get on land. It's the only way to get rid of it.
I didn't want to take no chances today.
I don't blame you.
It's funny, it's never happened in the kayak, and they get tossed around a little more in that, but
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, so we got that. That's there. Okay.
What's the difference in leader line than regular just buying a spool?
They say that fluorocarbon's better.
Why couldn't you just buy a regular thing of fluorocarbon then?
I mean, I don't know that there is any difference, to be honest.
I'm just wondering
with you.
because those are always more expensive than
Oh
getting
yeah,
a
no,
bigger
it's
spool.
just, this is what's at the tackle shop, so this is what we buy, you know? And I'm
It's a
actually,
racket. I'm onto their games.
yeah, no, I'm right there with you. All right, so 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. All right, you got a 36-foot leader.
So this is a dumb question,
Go ahead.
but
There ain't no dumb questions if you don't know.
well, so we've got the bead on there so that I don't reel up there to the guys, but like, how do we get the fish when we got a 36-foot leader? Like, how do we get the fish?
So we're
to
in
us?
150 foot of water. What happens is you got 30 feet of leader out there. So fish get, whenever you reel them up really fast out of a deep depth, I don't know if you've ever fished any like deep lakes or anything like that for bass, but fish get this thing is called barotrauma,
Oh, okay.
and their stomach, all the fluids in their stomach expand, and basically barotrauma, it will make the fish float. So what happens is that fish, you reel the line up till you see the bead, and that fish will be 40 feet. Well, he's already covered 90 feet, so he's going through his barotrauma stage. So he's just gonna float right up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We get that sometimes with the catfish if you bring them up too quick. Sometimes I'll fish 100 feet deep, and they're real. You got to bring them up real slow to keep
Right,
them happening there.
right. Well, the problem with that here,
Something's gonna get eaten, ain't it?
yep, you already knew it.
I still see all that stuff on the bottom of the
Oh,
grass
yeah.
there. It's
No,
lit
so
up.
this is just a live bottom area. That's what we call it anyway. So one of these is going to be wrong-handed for you, but I do want you to be in control of it.
I'll do my best.
Because like I said, I want you to pull on one of these big suckers. Hopefully we get them, but. We're gonna use the ballyhoo, and we're also gonna use live pinfish.
Pinfish seems like they're the bluegill of the ocean. Like everything's gonna eat them.
Yeah.
Is that a fair
Yeah.
assumption?
A pilchard or a greenback is the bluegill of the ocean. Everything eats those things. Offshore world, where'd that thing go? Offshore world, you definitely get a lot of things that do eat pinfish. Inshore world, not so much. But there's a lot of things that eat pilchards. I wasn't able to get any pilchards today. I wish I would have, but
Is that something you're normally able to buy, or do you have to?
No, you go
cast net those?
yeah, go cast net those. It's kind of tough with that cold front that just moved through. Ooh, that bottom machine's starting to. There's some stuff sticking up off the bottom. We like that.
Is it pretty clean through here as far as dragging through? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some sea fans and whatnot, but it's not.
You're not hung up every 2 minutes?
No, not really.
Unless I just jinxed it by saying it.
Well, there's always a case of that. All right, so let's take this rod and put him right here. And then what I always like to do, especially like whenever we're moving to a different area, is I put the rod in the rod holder, because we're gonna do this drift multiple times.
Okay.
Put the rod in the rod holder, and then the weight in the cup holder, and then just kind of don't necessarily like wind your leader up, because it is a long leader. Don't necessarily wind it up, but just kind of throw it on the floor. You do step on it from time to time, but we're going to be drifting, so your bait's going to get out there anyway, so it's not really the end of the world.
Okay. So you leave the bait in the water and just.
Not necessarily. Like whenever we're moving, you want to pull it in.
Okay.
Okay, that should be good. And just like I said, you want to keep as much stuff in the boat as you can. So that'll go there. Okay. So the most important thing about this whole process is how fast you let the bait down, because we are using long leaders. That weight is obviously going to get down to the bottom faster than the bait. But what you don't want is that bait sitting there spinning, because it'll tangle up in your main line. And that's basically that's whenever Captain Chase doesn't get too happy. We just burned through
300 yards or more.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
braid.
Exactly. Okay. Oh. Tie a hook on there, and then we'll run to the spot and get to fishing. You having fun so far?
Yeah, it's been a good trip, man.
Good.
Very educational. This is, like I said, it's a whole new world to me, so I'm absorbing. Hopefully the people at home, the ones that ain't asleep by now, they're absorbing too. Somebody's done woke up in the middle of the night and they're like, I'm seasick. This is a different world. This is different than where he's normally at.
What is this guy rambling on about now?
Tell you folks, you stop in random gas stations in the Everglades, you just never know where your life's going to go afterwards.
You ever heard of Florida Man?
Never.
You've never heard of Florida man?
Never.
Oh my gosh, that's like a big saying. So like, Florida man is a saying down here just because we're from Florida and we're always doing off the wall stuff. All right, that was a good little hump right there. Where's it at? No. So, mark that. 128. Close. Okay. So we've drifted a little over a quarter mile from where we started. And what I want to do is try to come right through this bottom right here. So I'm going to set that up right there, and that tells me where I need to be whenever I start my drift. I may be a little bit outside. I might try to get a little bit outside of that. This is me just talking to myself, like I said.
Go ahead, I do it all the time.
So whenever you're letting the line out, basically you just want to kind of keep your hand on the spool and just kind of like let it kind of like feather out. You don't want it to just shoot straight to the bottom, like I said.
Okay.
Actually, I want to be like right here. There we go. A little bit different sea out here, ain't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It got way bigger waves out here. It's amazing what a mile or two difference will make in the chop.
Oh yeah. Well, the deeper the water, the bigger the waves.
You see them TV shows like Deadliest Catch on TV, and you're like,
Right?
I'd be terrified. I wouldn't be going out there on the deck grabbing them crab pots.
Right? I think it'd be cool just to experience it, but my problem is I like my sleep too much.
I bet it would be hard to sleep on one of them boats because you're never going to stop moving.
Exactly. Well, I think it's probably one of those things that they just get so tired from working 24 hours that they just probably go in there and just pass out.
Probably, you're probably right.
So I'm gonna let you pick your bait of choice. You can either have the pinfish or you can have a butterfly ballyhoo.
I'll defer to you, whichever you think.
I mean, they both work, so it's kind of 6 to 1. We're gonna run, like I said, we'll probably do this trip 3-4 times, see what's going on. We're starting to get into the juice.
What's your cutoff as far as like the wind goes on trip? Do you have like a certain speed or direction where you're just like
30. I don't fish in 30.
I thought it'd been less than that. Wow.
Well, the problem with it is like down here, you know, you don't really, if you cancel all your trips because it's blowing 10 mile an hour, you're never gonna fish.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just kind of one of those things that, you know, you gotta set a limit, and 25 isn't terrible. It's not my favorite. Anything over 25 I really don't like. But I mean, there's some areas that you can get in like whenever it's blowing 25, that like it doesn't, it's not, sorry about that one. It's not fun, but at the same time you can still make a day happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I noticed my side got soaking wet and yours didn't. I think that was intentional.
It probably was.
That was me taking a shower there, folks, from Florida State comment earlier. Getting his revenge on me. Yeah, he got y'all soaking wet. Y'all didn't even say nothing bad to him right there. He got y'all soaking wet.
Sorry, guys. All right, let's, almost there. All right, that'll work. So let's go ahead and get you a pinfish. You can see where this would be can get kind of messy.
Oh yeah, especially that line whipping in the wind and stuff.
Oh yeah. All right. So basically that's how I want you to let it out, just like that.
Okay.
Till it hits the bottom. And these are just going to be probably just little taps, man. It's not going to be anything like real crazy. All right, so we'll set you in right here. And you're fishing. So basically, we need to let a little bit of line out. May have to go with a 20. See how it did that pop at the end? That was the weight hitting the bottom. That's the weight hitting the bottom. So you're looking for 3 of those to go pop, pop, pop in a row.
Okay.
And then that's whenever you know you got a bite.
Okay.
So like I said, we're just gonna drift through this area real quick and kind of see if we can't get bit. And the boat kind of turned sideways on us a little bit. I didn't think it was gonna.
Guess that wind just moves you whichever way it wants to.
All right, you can let a little bit of line out. And if you want to fish it out of your hand, feel free. I just like the rod holder aspect.
I'll wait on the rod holder.
Rodney catches more fish than anybody.
I like that. I never heard that before.
Yep. Well, Rodney, there you go, there you go. Bite, bite, bite. Nope, he dropped it. Let some line out. See how that was a little bit different?
Uh-huh.
Hopefully he comes back for it.
Now, I wasn't paying attention. Are these circle hooks?
Yes, yes, these are circle hooks.
Y'all, I apologize if there's wind noise on the camera. We got the fancy pants microphones on, but it just is what it is. That's got to be the most challenging thing probably for like somebody who fishes on YouTube out in the ocean is
I bet.
The wind.
Yeah. Yeah, just the noise factor.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Let's let a little bit more line out on that.
And that when that sinker hits bottom, is that like, does that help with drawing in the fish, or does it do anything at all?
I think it probably does. I think what it's doing is like whenever it hits like the sandy areas, it'll throw a little cloud out there. And I think that really helped there. No, that's the sea fan. That's a bite. Kind of the issue with this fishing is that makes it kind of tough. So like I said, you have a 40-foot leader out there, so you got to figure like, you know, that rod's gonna show that weight real good, but that bite, it's real subtle because that bait is 40 feet away from that, or 36 or however long we said it, you know, but it's that far away from that weight. We definitely had one bite though, that's for sure.
Probably gets more difficult if they eat it and come towards you. Like,
oh yeah.
When you're in this situation, let's say you got a family. Do you put out 1 or 2 rods and everybody takes turns, or does everybody have their own rod? Like, how many rods can you manage doing this style of fishing?
This style of fishing, like drifting, this style, I only like to run 2 because of tangle wise. I don't like tangles. I don't like unnecessarily rigging, is what I call it. Or not unnecessary rigging. I mean, that's what I get paid to do, but at the same time, there's ways around it. If you just run 2 lines, you're not gonna get boogered up. So, like what I really wanted to do, that may have been no, that's a sea fan. Let me let a little bit of line out on this thing. What I really wanted to do, and I got the motors turned in the wrong direction. If I turn the motors the other way, it may swing the nose in. I really want the stern of the boat to be facing this way, so where we're drifting straight with down sea instead of sideways. That way we can run 2 off the stern.
Okay, I got you.
Instead of like 1 midship and 1 stern.
I bet you still end up with a fair amount of tangles with just 2 rods.
Oh yeah.
The way fish move and run.
Let's see if this helps at all.
It don't seem like these saltwater fish, like they're gonna do what they want to do, it seems like.
Yeah, they kind of got a mind of their own, man. It's whatever they want to do, they're gonna do it, and they don't really, especially the bigger ones, you know, they don't stop.
So for trip purposes, if somebody's coming down here, they want to book a trip for you, maybe they're planning a vacation, like, what's the best times to come for various species?
So it really just depends on what they're looking for. The style of fishing that I like to do, because like I said, this isn't my there's a bite. Yep, real. Keep reeling. Is he still on there? Yeah, he's on there.
Felt the head shakes in.
That's probably gonna be a short mutton. So basically, it depends on what they want to do. I mean, if they're wanting to sight fit, there's so many different possibilities. I'd suggest, honestly, if there is somebody that wants to come fish, they just give me a call. And, you know, pretty much tell me the species that they want to catch or like what they're looking for, and then I can give them the best time of the year.
Okay.
Because, I mean, there's always fish to be ate around here or eaten. If people, you know, I find that a lot, especially families. They want to come down and they want to get a lot of fish for dinner. Yeah. And I don't blame them. Like, we have the best dinner or best tasting fish in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I would say if you're looking to do that, probably spring to summer. We do a lot in the summertime. The sight fishing gets really good. The wind kind of lays down for the most part, and it turns out, you know, it's turns out to be pretty good most of the time.
Should have this thing about up here now.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's probably going to be a
See some other
short
bait
mud.
fish or something.
Yeah, I don't know what those are. All right, there's your weight. So we'll throw that in there.
Got him hand lighting that thing in, folks.
We were catching them bigger on the patches, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
And I promise I do catch bigger fish than this.
Only in the spring, though, folks.
Right.
He told you when to come. Okay, so you just nick a hole in it.
Yep, just nick a hole in it, and there he goes.
All right.
Down, down, down she goes. All right, let's get another one. Actually, let's keep it up because we missed our spot. So if you want to just throw that in the rod holder, like so.
Okay.
Perfect.
Very gently make my way around. Every step has to be calculated here, by gosh. Yeah, folks, I'll put his contact info in the video description there and all that. And you got out of Islamorada exclusively, or do you do other places too?
So I do Islamorada. Basically just because that's where I live and that's where my boat is. If somebody brought their boat down and wanted to fish like marathon or something like that, I'm also available for hire to jump on other people's boats and just, because a lot of people, they bring their boat down here, they spend a week, and it ends up being more stress than it is fun. So, you can always hire a captain to come in and just, we're down here, we know what the fish are doing. Obviously, they ain't been big fish today, but with that also being said, like, we try to stay on top of the fish as much as possible, and I just feel like you have better odds, just paying somebody to come on your boat. Now, if you're against that, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
But I mean, if they're bringing their boat down, it seems like a good option to do that.
Right. I get calls quite a bit asking for those type of trips that, hey, we brought our boat down, we've been down here for 4 days and haven't sniffed a fish. Like, what are we doing wrong? Can you give me some spots? And that's whenever it's like, you know what, nah, dude. Like, not trying to be selfish, but this is how I make my living.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're gonna come down here every year, you're gonna tell all your buddies from wherever they're at, you're gonna give them that spot. So it's kind of like, I don't necessarily do that. I don't just give away spots for free, but like, if I'm on your boat and we use your GPS, that spot will be in there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way that I look at all that.
Well, Islamorada's good. I mean, if somebody comes in, maybe they fly in to Key West or some vacation touristy spot, it's a reasonable drive to come up here.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And if you're in Miami or any other part of southern Florida there, it's not a bad drive to come to Islamorada. It's kind of right in the middle, really.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
really
real
is.
central location. You just can't get a chain restaurant other than Wendy's while you're here.
Well, there's a McDonald's too. We do have a McDonald's.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we're moving up in the world. I really wish they'd put a Chick-fil-A, but I don't think that'll ever happen. And that's not a plug for Chick-fil-A. Oh, here's the real question. In Knoxville, do y'all have pals?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I've heard for a while we're getting one, but it is
Oh my gosh.
It has not come about yet.
Have you ever eaten at a Pal's?
I don't think I have. I've heard people talking about it, but I haven't.
So I don't know if it's just like a Northeast Tennessee thing or what the deal is, but I went down to go visit my brother. He just moved to Franklin, and they didn't have a Pals there, and I was very, very disappointed.
Well, we're Tennessee. We get things last.
Right?
We're
Well,
little-
no, I think a Pals is like strictly a Tennessee chain.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, I'll be damned. No, we ain't got one in my area.
I know it's an or Northeast Tennessee thing.
Well, the state of Tennessee's so long. It takes
Right.
6 hours.
Right. Well, I mean, so Hawkins County, how far are you from Hawkins County?
Well, I don't even know where it's at. I've never heard of it, so it must be a while.
You ever heard of Rogersville?
I've heard of it, but I don't know where it's at.
Okay. So it's kind of like up by Kingsport, Tri-City area?
Yeah, I'm about 2 hours west of there.
I need to turn my wheel. I tell you what, turn the wheel all the way to the left and kick that right motor into gear for me.
And so you said all the way to the left?
Yep, all the way to the left.
And right motor in gear.
Yep. That'll work right there.
Folks, we're back in the game.
And that's one nice thing about this style of fishing is this area is not giant, so you can get back on them and do the drift over again in like 5 minutes. It's not
Yeah, it didn't take long at all.
not time consuming at all.
You ever had, like when you're out here in open water, you ever had any big sharks come after your motor? I know we touched on it earlier, but like...
Not necessarily the motor, but I've seen them like swimming around. You'll see like big hammerheads and stuff. Where are we at?
I think hammerheads are probably my favorite shark of all time.
Yeah?
Just because they look cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, they're really neat. We get some big ones too. I've been out here and saw probably like 10, 12 footer one day. That was pretty wild.
Yeah. For catching purposes, I'd say probably just black tips are probably my favorite to go fish for because I'm actually going to have a chance at getting them in.
Right.
Some of them that I hooked into the last couple of years, it's like, you know, you fight them for 2 hours and I get to my leader to cut it, and that's about as good
Well,
as it gets.
like you said, man, it's, you know, you're in a kayak. It's like,
There's no leverage.
what do you do?
Yeah, there's no leverage. But it's fun to get towed around.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. That's another great thing about the Keys down here is putting in, you don't have to bust through any like big surf or anything
Right,
to get
right.
out. Like it's very calm. Because I wouldn't feel comfortable. I went offshore that one time up there for the sailfish trip, and like I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that on my own.
Right. So, do you like, are you strictly, do you have a trolling motor on your rig, or do you have?
I do back home, but I don't on this one down here.
Okay. So is it foot pedals or is it?
Foot pedals.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't bring the motor, you know, battery, all that stuff's so damn heavy, and getting through sand and stuff here, like
Right.
I brought the lightest weight kayak I could get.
is that like a catamaran hull? Did I see that right?
It's like a paddleboard, really.
Okay.
Almost like a paddleboard with a seat and a pedal drive system. Very maneuverable,
Right.
but you do get blown around. One thing I've noticed, even if they're on Lake Ida, when the wind would hit you, like you're gone.
Stuck in a sea fan. There it goes.
I just got that particular kayak about a month ago, specifically for
Oh,
coming
really?
down here, just because it's so lightweight. I'm still kind of getting used to it, getting comfortable with it. But my one back home, I've got motor, GPS, spot lock, all that.
Oh, dang.
I take the lazy man's way on it.
It's not necessarily lazy. It's working harder, working smarter, not harder.
It is nice when you like over like 100-foot hole or something, and you can just hit spot lock. You don't have to deal with all the anchor rope. And from a safety aspect, it's a lot better having the spot lock feature versus dropping a physical rope and current.
Right. Where are we?
We need to get you running some kayak charters. What we need to.
That'd be cool.
I'm honestly surprised. I didn't really look that deep into it, but like just normally, you know, social media, you talk about stuff and it appears on your Facebook because they listen in.
Right.
But I don't know that there are any kayak. I mean, there's places you can rent kayaks, like sightseeing tours, but I don't know of any kayak guide services down here in the Keys.
As far as like fishing wise,
Yeah.
there's not. I don't believe so. I know there's like eco tours and stuff like that, but I don't believe that there's any like strictly kayak tours. And I think a lot of that has to do with like how strong our currents are and how it's generally kind of windy down here for a lot of the times of the year.
It would be tough to take somebody out that's never been in a kayak before and put them around the current and stuff, and
Yeah.
especially around them bridges and whatnot.
Oh, I had a guy not too long ago, actually. We had to save him.
Really?
He was, it was, his kayak flipped over and he was trying to get to his kayak and he was holding on to it and he was trying to dive down and get his phone. He lost his phone and all this and that. And I told him, I was like, dude, get on my boat. Like, we'll tie a rope to your kayak and we'll get you to shore. Like, what are you worried about your phone? Well, that's a brand new phone and I got a bunch of pictures on there. I was like, buddy, screw those pictures. Like, that looked like a bite. That may have been a C-fan, but
Back that stuff up in the cloud, buddy.
it's like, dude, you're crazy. Like, he got on the boat and was like on the verge of throwing up. He was so tired, you know,
Right.
and it's definitely,
I mean, you go overboard, you're going to end up miles away by the time you get situated
Oh,
just
yeah.
because of the current.
it's definitely one of those things, man, that like, I'm sorry.
This is an embarrassing story. You'll think it's
Oh, boy.
embarrassing though, but my first trip down here in the Keys, I'd come down with another YouTuber, Elias V Fishing there, and he was out there with me, and you know, I'd never been out there. I'm complete newbie, rookie, just I know nothing.
Right.
And I hooked into something big, and I'd been fighting it forever, and it just kept told me. Well, at that stage of YouTube, I was mostly doing live streams.
Right.
And so I'm live. Well, he had lost sight of me.
Oh, gosh.
And he starts trying to call. Well, I can't pick up because I'm live.
Right.
And so he starts panicking, thinking that something's happened to me. So he called the damn Coast Guard. Well, the next thing I know, Coast Guard out there, they were super nice.
Right.
But I mean, I was embarrassed that they had to waste part of their day coming.
Right,
To their
right.
credit, they come and found me.
Well, I mean, also, and I mean, that's what they get paid to do.
Well,
you know,
yeah,
like-
but they got real crimes to solve, and I'm out there just hooked into something I never saw that just kept towing me. Elias is like, I ain't never fishing with you again. He's like, next time, I'm just going to let you die out there.
Well, this ain't exactly panning out like I wanted it to. There's bite. Something's down there munching on that thing. But another thing too is, like, especially in the charter game, you know, and I kind of already spoke on it a little bit, but like I said, I base my charters off of people having fun, man. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're paying good money, good hard-earned money to come out here and trust some random person to go escape for a couple hours. So, I mean, there's an area, it's on the Florida Bay side, on the bay side, and it's called Flamingo. And like right now, there's like 50 wild flamingos back there, like pink flamingos.
Like the birds.
Yeah. And it's, you know, you take people that have never seen one of those before out there and go see that, it's like they don't care about the fishing anymore. So in some aspects of it, you are kind of like an eco tour guide, you know. So it's I love my job. I love what I do. The people that I get to meet, it's really cool. And I mean, I don't know if I got to make a shout out to my buddy Casey Wallace. He lives in West Virginia, and there's a bite right there, I think. Yeah, go ahead and try him. My buddy Casey Wallace in West Virginia.
Yeah, he's on there.
He's my best client, and I just met him. I met him at a bar having a beer one day, and he goes, "I'd like to hire you to take me fishing." And I said, "Let's go."
Is he down here on vacation?
He comes down here on vacation. He'll spend 2 months down here, and
Oh, wow.
it's really neat, man. He's actually became a friend. You know, like I'll call him and check up on him, see how he's doing. You know, it's the fishing industry is a real tight-knit group of people, and it makes it more enjoyable that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think this is going to be a little bit bigger than the last one.
I don't know what it is. That's the issue. It ain't giving any big head shakes or anything like that. It's not a big mutton, I know that.
No. Not had any violent head shakes, nothing pulling, but he does
like,
when I like that, like I feel
Right.
him, like he feels bigger than the.
We want the one that about rips the rod out of your hand.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we're shooting for.
What's that thing over there floating?
So people call them the cables. It's a long line lobster trap,
Oh, okay.
and they just run for miles and miles and miles. Never seen anybody checking them, but
Like the trout lines back
Yeah.
home. They just put them out and come back in a month.
now is that pretty popular back there?
Only with the Pay Lake people.
Okay,
Most of the hillbillies have gotten away from it.
I got you. So I meant to ask you earlier, Pay Lake, that's a lake that you pay on to go fish.
Yeah, they're like a pond, basically.
Okay.
People, 20, 50 bucks, I guess, and they have the biggest fish caught in a certain time period, and they'll win a cash prize.
Okay.
Kind of like a tournament gambling type thing.
Right, I got you. All right, we got the leader there.
There's the bead.
There's your fish floating. Like I said, I think it's a short mutton. Yep, another little fella. He's
What?
been on there for a while.
That one at least felt bigger.
I'm gonna have to poke him with the knife. So this is the barotrauma. We'll go ahead and stick your rod holder. Stick your rod in that rod holder. The barotrauma that I was telling you about, see how his eyes are poked out? And the air, it actually comes through like the scales and whatnot. So let me get by you real quick. I need to get in here to this knife. And we just make just a little bitty incision right there. There it goes.
And you see him deflate.
Yep. So he just deflated. My pliers keep getting caught on that thing. And there he goes. Just like that. I should have got that on film. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Hey, let me wash this off, and I think we're gonna try one more drift because it ain't really happening like I want it to.
Well, we've got bit every drift though.
Oh yeah.
It ain't like it's been just sitting out here in the Dead Sea not getting anything.
Right.
You ever had the clients go out and you got completely skunked?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's not.
This is the part where you're supposed to lie.
Well, no, I'm truthful. I don't.
I teed you up there an easy question and you failed the test.
Well, I mean, we caught what I consider a skunk, we'll say. Just like smaller mangrove snappers, stuff like that. Nothing really you want to put on your social media, anything like that, you know.
I got low standards, buddy. I'll put bluegill on my social media.
Well, and I have noticed that the more you post, the more phone calls you get.
Yeah, that's probably some truth to that. Yeah, I can see that.
I think we're gonna do a plugged ballyhoo and see how that works out. We got the Miss Islamorada steaming in hot. He's wanting to come out here and mutton fish.
Now, is that one of them boats where they take 1 million people out?
That's a party boat, yes sir.
I went on those one time and it was pretty well awful.
We'll just call it an experience.
It's an experience.
nice.
Yeah. You're not really fishing. You just standing shoulder to shoulder or getting lines tangled all day.
Yep.
Yeah, folks, if you're coming down here and you're going to get on a boat, hire Chase or an actual guide, not one of them
Party boats.
50 people on a boat type thing for $39. You're going to have a way better experience.
It's more personal.
More personal, and you're going to have way better chance of catching something.
And that's the thing too, also, man, like what I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit. Say, you know, say there's somebody that wants to book and I can't fulfill necessarily what they want to do. I know somebody that can. So if they want to come out sail fishing, like I said, I don't charter sailfish trips, but that's just fun fishing for me. With that also being said, it's kind of like we touched on, it's if I can't fulfill it, I know somebody that can.
Yeah.
And it's all about networking down here.
Yeah.
That rat. He done snaked me.
They just cut you off and do their thing. They don't give a damn, do they?
Yeah, that's one thing about them party boats, man. But one thing about it is, he's about to drop about 200 pounds of chum.
Well, that's a fair point. That's free chum, ain't it?
It's free chum, and that just means we may have to do another drift. He's really not gonna like me whenever I pull up behind his chum slick. All right, let's get you set up with a ballyhoo. And then I'm gonna let you let this one down.
Okay.
Just so you can get the full-on experience. So what we do, kind of butterfly these things. Like so. So that way you got a thing and it's just...
Okay.
Take the beak off, throw that overboard. All right. Hook him underneath the chin. Free tip of the day right there. There you go.
Right.
So just sling him on out there and just do kind of, oh, it's all good. So
You heard him, folks. He said, sling it on out there. I did it.
that wasn't really much of a sling.
That wasn't much of a sling, was it?
Let me show
that was
you what
more
I
of a
mean by a
toss on the-
sling.
Bozo Grand Prize game. You're probably too young to remember the Bozo show.
I love the Bozo show.
All right, all right, all right.
That's the one where they had the big,
The Grand Prize game.
the grand prize game, but didn't they have like it wasn't like, I guess I don't know, where you had to get the ball in the thing?
That
in
was
the
it.
cup? Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Prize game.
That's it.
That was the bucket.
That's it. All right, so yeah, like I said, just real slow. And you can just cup it right here. There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. And I'm just gonna cut this one off.
I'm gonna be professional at this before I leave here today, folks. You're seeing it live and in person here. Okay, I'm on bottom now.
Okay.
How much more line should I let out?
So just you remember how I said you want your weight to be on bottom?
Yep.
So just go ahead and throw it in the rod holder. And that's how you can gauge that's how you gauge like when your weight is completely on the bottom where you need it to be. See, that is right there.
Yep.
That's your weight hitting the bottom. Now it just stopped hitting the bottom. So once it stops hitting the bottom, just let a little bit of line out. And the easiest way to do that is just pull back on this line right here and then open the bail and just let it go. Obviously without falling over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm having a little hard time right now.
It's all good, man. You're not used to it yet.
I ain't got my sea legs out here in the blue water.
It's rough. It ain't calm, that's for sure.
This probably is a calmer day for you, isn't it? But what is it, about 10 miles an hour today?
It's still a little bumpy. It's probably 12 to 14. It's 15 now because it's white cap. Whenever it's white capping, it's blowing 15.
Okay.
Honestly, if you wanted to hold it, you could. It's just like I said, for me, it's easier to see. I can feel it, but I do it all the time. You know, for me, I just hold it, but it's easier to see the weight bounce whenever it's in the rod holder.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the rod holder. I need one arm to hang on for dear life here with anyway.
Right? You need your water yet?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I've learned to not drink too much while I do this because then I start slurping on camp. But you go ahead and slurp.
I got you.
Other people will be calling me out for it though. They can call you out for it. That's one of the things I got a little bit of a complex on. I used to when I was doing, well, now we done got it. Okay, there.
Sea fan, yep.
When I was doing edited videos, it never fails a fish would bite while I'd have a snack or something, a mouthful of something. And people started giving me hell about chewing on camera, and I got a complex. And so when I started doing the unedited, I'm like, I'm just gonna drink a lot before I get to the water and drink a lot afterwards. And hope I don't get too parched during.
Right.
The sacrifices I make.
Oh yeah, I get it. You know, it's funny you say that because there was, I had a charter and the lady, she was the nicest lady ever. And she's like, I brought stuff to make you sandwiches. I said, ma'am, I don't want to be rude, but I don't have time to eat. She's like, well, I'll make you one. I said, well, you can make me one, but chances are I'm probably not going to have time to eat it. And this was like a little bit of a lull, you know, the fish weren't really eating all that good. As soon as she put that sandwich on the deck, all 4 rods go off, and it's like, oh gosh, here we go.
So she just brought a whole picnic basket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, was it at least an all-day trip, or did she?
Yeah, it was an 8-hour trip.
I was like, if she brought all that for a little 4-hour half day or something.
Yeah. Well, she also had kids on the boat too, but still, it's funny that it never seems to work out. Like, as soon as I try to eat or drink something on a trip, that's usually whenever, you know, the big fish bites.
Yeah.
That ain't been the case today. But you know what? We're out here having fun.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
It's a new experience.
Yeah, man. I get to show you my world, and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, this is something, I mean, I wouldn't have, had I not run into you at the gas station, I wouldn't have been able to do this.
Right.
Again, I don't, you know, it's not that I'm opposed to getting a fishing guide or something. It's just with me filming, so many guides are just, they're not going to be cool with it, which I
Right,
totally understand why. Like, I don't even bother trying to reach out to guides anymore
Right.
at this point.
Well, and there's certain spots, and that's honestly, man, that's part of the reason why we came and did this today. You can't see anything
Yeah, it's wide
on
open.
camera on this, you know what I mean? There's,
Of course, I mean, I have been filming while we've looked at your graph, so they've probably marked some
it'll be all right.
waypoints there,
It'll be all right.
especially the one named Justin.
Right, right. It's all good at the end of the day. If they want it, they can have it.
Yeah, a lot of guides are real funny about that kind of stuff, so I just usually go show up places, just wing it, and
Right.
whatever happens, happens.
Right.
Kind of like you, I'm gonna have fun no matter what. So.
Exactly.
But I do appreciate you sharing all this stuff with me and
Yeah, man.
thousands of other people, secrets of the trade and stuff. I mean,
Well,
that's part of when you go somewhere new. It's like figuring out those little things. Like,
Yeah.
size of the hook, the weight you use. It don't seem like a big deal, but when
It
you
really
don't know, it's huge. Like your deal here with these long leaders. Like, who would have ever figured that out?
Exactly.
You know, outside of this.
We call them the forefathers. The fathers that came before us. Or the founding fathers, I guess. You know, the guys that came out here and figured all this stuff out with just a range system.
Yeah.
You know, like, didn't have any kind of technology. So, it's, you know, we really appreciate those guys that, you know, were here before us and did all of it, because, you know, there's a lot of teaching moments and all this stuff. And I feel like for me as a guide, you know, I can kind of give back a little bit, as far as, you know, if somebody watching this video just learned something small, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it helps them catch fish, well, great. That's awesome. Sea Fan City.
At least it's come through so far.
Oh yeah.
What is a sea fan exactly?
So it's like a type of coral. I don't even know. It just basically looks like a bush under the water. They filter out a lot of the bad stuff that's in the water, like any kind of algae or anything like that. They just help clean the water. So.
So they're very beneficial.
Oh, very, very beneficial. So last year, not this past summer, but the summer before, it was like the heat index down here was like 118 degrees
Ooh.
for like, it was like 2 weeks straight, man. Manatee Bay, up in the Everglades, clocked water temperatures of 101 degrees.
Dang. So,
like, these corals and stuff, they're having a hard time coming back from a lot of that stuff, you know? And it's been a tough road, man. There's something down there pecking on it.
whatever happened with them? I saw the news stories of them fish that were going crazy, like swimming in circles and stuff.
Oh yeah, I actually saw that a couple times.
They ever figure out what caused that? Or?
So I think this is just my theory on it, because I never really heard much about it. I think what it was was whenever that water temperature got so hot and it was killing all those corals, I think they released some kind of toxin, and it was like, it was in the fish, and it was like they were still safe to eat, but it messed like their brains up. Like made them go into like shock almost. It's really weird.
Yeah, I saw some of the videos there. It was pretty crazy to see. Is it pretty much resolved now?
I haven't heard about it. I haven't seen any of it. So yeah, I mean, as far as
one of them situations where maybe the news made it out to be worse than it was.
No, it was pretty bad. Like it's, you know, I wouldn't. They're gonna love that.
Yeah, they are. You just woke somebody up. Somebody was sound asleep.
That's gonna wake me up in like 2 months. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna hear that. Who's breaking into my house? So let's let a little bit of line out. There's something down there tapping on it, but we need to feed them a little bit more. I don't think it. I don't know how it got resolved. I don't know if it just went away, or I don't know a whole lot about it, because like I said, you didn't really hear about like how it got resolved or why it stopped. But I mean, we had bait. We used mullet for our tarpon fishing, and like you'd throw mullet in your well and they would just flip upside down and start spinning circles. I got videos on my phone.
Wow.
So.
And do you catch your mullet, or is that something you can buy?
So we buy our mullet. It's just easier. There's a lot of people that do go catch mullet, and if anybody from Islamorada watches this video, I'm gonna get roasted for saying that.
What do mullet cost in general?
So it's usually like, it's a dozen and a half for like 50 bucks.
Okay. They pretty good size?
I mean, some of them are. I like the smaller mullets, like probably around 6 to 8 inches. But every once in a while you'll get what they call a hog leg in there. And I've never really done real well on the hog legs, but it does make for an real exciting bite whenever the fish does eat it. So.
First time I'd ever used mullet was last month in Louisiana, and I fished a catfish tournament down there, and I kept 2 alive overnight in my bait bucket, and I lost one there right away. I was so pissed off. But I threw one out that was, I don't know, it was pound and a half, and man, he caught my biggest fish of the tournament.
Really?
Yeah. Hooked him right through the back, tossed him out. He wasn't down there long, got gobbled up. But so, I had to cast down there. There wasn't nowhere to buy them down there, at least to my knowledge.
Right.
And boy, it was a pain in the ass catching them things.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing here.
One day I went out and I made one throw and I had a net full. I'm like, this is so easy. And the next day I'm like, I was out there hours and I got 2. And I'm like, golly bum.
Where'd y'all little jokers go?
To the chum pile.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the mullet.
Oh yeah.
I knew this was going to be hit or miss, but I figured we would at least give it a shot. I haven't fished this particular spot in probably 3 months, so I think all our bigger muttons are further inshore right now. We just didn't really get an opportunity at them. Well, but with that also being said, it's kind of, it's cool being out here, and
yeah. Always that chance for that shark out here too.
Oh yeah. Gosh. Let me see what I got. See how far away it is. I got a wreck around here. Have you ever done any jigging?
No, I haven't. Well, not that style of jigging anymore.
Right. All right.
If it makes you feel any better, then people up there on that party boat ain't really.
Oh no, they're not. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a little tough. Where's the 220? $220 right there. Ooh, that's 10 miles.
Oh,
And it's further out, so it's gonna get rougher. I think we're gonna save the 220 for a different day.
that's a rough ride going that far. I can barely keep myself up right here.
Right? Well, I say we give it a couple minutes and see what happens, and if you want to do another drift, we can do another drift.
Oh, it's your call, man. I'm with you today. You're doing me a solid bringing me out here,
gotcha.
so I'm fine with what ifs. We're gonna be dropping these people off soon anyway, because my battery's getting close to dead. So.
Okay. How much time you think you got?
My battery normally dies about 4-hour mark, so we probably got 10, 15 more minutes probably.
Okay. Well, we'll just call this the last drift, and we'll head in, because we got, you see where that drawbridge is? Way out in the distance?
Oh yeah, I see it well.
That's where we gotta go. So.
Well, we've covered a lot of water.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's gonna be a rough ride heading home.
It ain't gonna be too bad.
It's tough on these action cameras because they got motion stabilization.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of the bouncing up and down and the waves, like it don't get transferred appropriately.
Right. Well, and that's another thing too. You know, whenever we were coming over that sand earlier, and I was like, "Look at that water! Just look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll never do it justice."
No, got to see it with your own eyes.
I think there's a fish on there.
You think so?
Yeah. I think it's something small, but I think there's a fish on there. And also, too, like I said, that was a good one.
That was a good wave right there. I think you just wanted me to pick up this rod so I can go overboard.
Well, I can reel it if you want. I don't mind.
I don't know if there's anything on here or not.
No, it just looked like it.
You seeing things, what you seeing. You seeing ghost spots out there.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
There comes another good wave right here.
Yeah. Well, I say we go get out of this mess. That's also another charter trick that I didn't tell you about.
What's that?
You tell somebody that they got a fish on the line, so they reel it up because I'm ready to get out of here. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't do that. I don't do that. All right, you got your weight right here.
Yep. All right, folks, you heard it. We're getting ready to roll out. Again, I'll put his guide service information down there in the video description, phone number and all that. You got a website and all that too?
Yeah, I'm still working on the website, but it's the chasefishingcharters.com.
Okay.
Also, I've got an Instagram, and it's CAPT_Chase Masters, and I'll be on there as well. The best way to reach me is probably call or text. I'm one of those old school people.
Yeah,
that
one of those phone callers.
I like to talk on the phone.
Oh, I don't know how you can still do it. I hate a phone call. I'd rather about take a kick to the balls.
Well, honestly though, it's like the way that I look at it is, you know, you kind of, as I'm driving a hook into my hand, it's kind of like an interview as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if somebody calls me up, I can kind of see how they are over the phone. If it's some weirdo, I don't want them on my boat.
It's a way for you to screen them. I like it.
Hate to be like that, but in today's world, you know, you never
know. Now, have you ever had those clients that you're like, well, this guy's weird. I'm booked. Have you been in that situation?
No comment. No comment.
All right, folks.
Yes, there are a couple that I have stored in my phone as do not answer.
No judgment from me. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't want to be around random strangers all the time.
It's definitely interesting.
Y'all watching at home, you know I'm not a people person. I'll talk to you all through this camera, but I don't really like talking in real life to people. I try to avoid humans as much as possible. But anyway, y'all, we're getting ready to make a very bumpy ride back to the ramp here. So again, thanks to Captain Chase here for taking me out. I'll have all his information down there in the video description. Hit him up, man. If you're anywhere in South Florida or taking a vacation down to Key West, Isla Mirada, it really is right in the middle of kind of everything. You're an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, pretty much anywhere you would be staying at in the South Florida area. So definitely worthwhile to hit him up. And you know, again, I'm a complete newbie. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. He got me on fish out here today, and a lot of them. So very nice of him to take us out. Thank you very much, sir.
Hey, thank you.
Hit him up, and yeah, folks, I'll see you in the next one. The Florida vacation continues. It's been awesome so far. I'll see you later.